And we're here live for Monday Night Madness on the Coast to Coast Racing League here. Zach Shaggy Chapman here alongside with Connor Ross. He's going to be a driver for us tonight, going to give us that driver insight. But we're here at Cedarlake Speedway. Thanks for joining us here for Monday Night Madness. We're going to start off here with the 358 Open Series. So should be some good racing here. As this is the guy I got up, decided to pull in. We'll switch over to Brandon Templeton here. But it should be a good night of action. After this, we have the Rebels Sprint Car Division, 360 Sprint Car Division, followed by the Renegades 360 Sprint Car Division. So make sure you stick around. Got a good night. How's the track looking right now, Connor?
It's a lot like what we had there at the charity race. It's Cedar Lake, super wide, and it's got some character, like going down the straightaways at Charlotte, but instead going into turn one here at Cedar Lake on the bottom, you have that massive rut. So this track has a lot of character to it, and that's kind of why I like it, because it's not easy to drive, but no, she's wide and fast right now.
Yeah, and you know, it's another thing I kind of like about this. It's one of those tracks where I think it'll probably favor the high side in 1 and 2, but I don't know about you. I imagine we'll get a couple different racing lines in turns 2 and 4.
We, in the past races here, I've lost a few races because there's a slider line that develops in 3 and 4, and I either stick to the top side or bottom side, but I've lost a few races from other guys just running a slider line, and it's really fast. So later on, when it gets slick, watch for that slider line in turns 3 and 4 to, be the fast way around the track, and then 1 and 2 is usually around the top.
Yeah, I'm tempted to lean towards what you're saying, and you know, I love seeing that slider line develop in 3 and 4. But man, when it does, it makes it so hard to pass here. You really got to pinch off speed to keep it down on the bottom in 3 and 4, and it's tough to throw that slider back on them in 1 and 2 if you're slow coming out of 3 and 4. But I imagine we'll see some guys really go at it tonight. Right now, we've got a pretty big field here. I'm seeing 28 drivers in the room. 25 have put in time, so we're going to be sending 4 cars home tonight if everybody races. You better be on it tonight, Connor.
That's exactly what we had last Monday at Knoxville, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure we had 28 cars here because I think 4 or 6 went home from the B main. But we're in the ballpark, so that's a great, healthy division here tonight.
Yeah, it really is. And, we're coming off big charity week here for Coast to Coast, and I'm very proud to say that not one person who won any money last week in charity, not that I'm trying to bash people out of doing that, but it's just so good to give it back. And, I don't believe last charity everyone gave it back, and it's really nice to see that every single person who made money this year at Mission 22, or for the Mission 22 charity last week in Charlotte, all donated back. So it was good to see a good total there. And we saw the same 3 get on the podium. I don't see Isaac Salas in this session, though, so he's going to be we're going to have a new spot. Somebody else will fight for that. But that was a pretty good race, Connor, and if I'm not mistaken, you got hard charger in both of those.
Yeah, no, it was a great night all around. What did we have? I think the most cautions we had in the one race was, 5 or 6, maybe.
Considering it went 100 laps,
yeah,
it ain't bad.
And it was great racing, all from lap 1 to the checkered flag. Isaac Salas swept, but in the big blocks, he had to work for it in the last 15 laps. He was, I think, running 3rd or 4th, and he wound up winning, but it just shows you anybody can win. And we have a great group of people who race with us, and it was awesome. But no, I did get hard charger in both races. Next time I'll run the heat races. That'll give me some better luck.
Yeah, I was telling him that he didn't run heat races because for those of you that didn't watch, I was responsible for the heat broadcast on Tuesday night, and I always give all my teammates some crap. Yeah, if you don't know, Connor and I are teammates, part of Gambling Motorsports, but Every time I do a broadcast, it seems like those guys don't like to show up for the race, so it's kind of an inside joke. I like to give them all crap. So, hoping John Hine and Kemper show up for these things tonight. I always like calling races that my teammates are in, that's for sure. But still have about 5 minutes to go here. We'll roll right on the hour. So if you're getting bored of listening to Connor and I, you can mute us if you want. Make sure you unmute us at 7 o'clock here. But till then, we're just going to give you a couple of different driver point of views. Right now, we're right on board with Donovan Ross. We'll see what the track's kind of looking like. It looks like the entry to 3 and 4 is pretty slick right now. They're going to have to really let out of the throttle if they want to have a good slider line. Same with 1 and 2. You see Donovan, he's pretty much committing himself to the top. He's going to keep trying to make it go higher and higher. But, man, as the race wears on here, Connor, 1 and 2 is already really thin. We may see a bottom line coming.
I was just thinking that, the heat races here usually it's not around the top, but it's middle to top. Right now, it's quite a ways up there. So I'm wondering how that bottom line's going to come in with these heat races. Right now, the top's always fast in 1 and 2, I find here, but on the exit of 1 and 2, there's a lot of tack still on the bottom and middle. Same with 3 and 4. So I think you're going to find these heat races very racy, and I think it's going to be a good heat race, the 2 grooves.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think you're going to see guys like Anthony Morano who like to run the bottom. They'll probably go real aggressive on that gear and really try to make that thing sing at the end of the straightaway and trying to run the bottom. Like you said, Brandon Templeton, actually, we're watching. He must be listening to you because he's going down and experimenting with all that tack in 1 and 2, seeing what kind of line he can run. And I think we're going to see guys definitely be able to make that work out in the heat. I'm hoping it stays there for the feature, but we never know. But if 1 and 2 keeps thinning out like that up top, I think we will still have a bottom line in the feature.
It's getting pretty technical on exit of 1 and 2 up top there. There's a slick exit up top. Makes it, you really have to get your left rear right, your whole car right, not right, little underneath the wall, obviously, but on exit, there's a very fine line where you have to place your car in order to be still in the tack.
No, you're right. And Rod just clicked over to Jake Henry here, and he just had a problem like I have here, and it's definitely an issue for some drivers. Connor, if you enter too high into turns 3, that wall comes up on you real quick.
And these walls they almost seem angled. They are not friendly here, and even in 1 and 2, 3 and 4, the wall really comes up on you fast. But I find if you can hit it right, you can bounce off it. But 1 and 2, if you get into those tires there where pit lane is on the entry, you're in major trouble.
Yeah, it's almost like a black hole up there. The way it's, especially with those tires, they aren't angled as much, and then all of a sudden the corner wall really starts to angle at you. So yeah, you get in those tires, man, it sucks you in. And you just better pray, especially in these things, that the right front's still okay, because this is one of those weird pits where it's easy to lose your lap here. It can take a long time under caution even to get a quick repair. So you don't want to have to use one here if you don't need to.
I don't think caution laps count, though. So you might be safe in that matter with going a lap down.
Yeah, I just meant, how sometimes this place, or I guess we're clearing blacks in here now, but I still remember when this track came out, how funky it was with pit road being open and closed. But I remember, yeah, you're right. Now we clear the blacks, so that shouldn't be a big problem.
I remember when we ran enduros here. That was always fun, seeing who could flip someone over the wall the furthest.
Yeah, and Devo, if you're listening, I'm about to credit you for staying on the track, so please don't pull off because you're the only guy we got out there right now, so you're the attention. Because we still have probably about 30 seconds to a minute to go here. Or you can see actually the countdown timer there on the top of the screen. You got about 25 seconds left to practice. So should be getting ready to roll over to qualifying here, and we'll go on board with the first car out. Right now, Donovan Ross, watching him roll around, just took notice. He's coming up on, that'll be 89 laps. So he is putting in the time, really probably trying to tweak the setup and get this thing to how he likes it, or trying to wear the track into how he likes it. Checkered flag is out here on the session. And we're going to see who's out here on the track. See, I see Trent Restraiten here. He's getting ready to pull off. Let's go first lap here with Trent. Gonna run the wall in 1 and 2 here for the first lap. Gonna do the same in 3 and 4. Not really gonna experiment with that slider line here as he's coming around, and he's gonna bring it home right now. P4 out of all the guys who have run laps. Scott Rayome currently P1 in the 4:44 behind Dean Reynolds, and now Brandon Templeton's gonna take over P1 on his final lap. Scott Rayome, can he get quicker? No, he's going to stay the same. Wait, no, he does actually. He does get quicker. It took a while to update. 14.2 flat. He's your new pole sitter. Let's see Steven Stewart. Or he's actually done. Let's see Samuel Bachman. This is coming to his checker flag. Did he improve? Yes, he did. P2. Going to go up to P2. Big improvement on that second lap. See, Kelly Wheeler now. He's just moved into P2 at that time. He's on lap number 2 now. On that bottom in 3 and 4, really slow it down. Get on it in the attack. Is he going to be quicker? No, 14.3 last time by. He's going to have to stick with his 14.22. And Jacob Brown is out here on lap number 2. So is Matt Schaefer. They're both running their final laps. We'll see if Jacob Brown can improve. He's going to run the high side in 3 and 4. No, he is not going to improve. Going to stay 21st. And hey, Connor, do you mind pulling up the cheating iRacing and telling me what qualifying is? Because I did not get to it in time. You want to give us the top 5?
Top 5 is Scott Rayome, Kelly Wheeler 2nd, Samuel Bachman 3rd, Brandon Templeton 4th, and rounding at the top 5 is Randall Dixon.
All right, so you heard it from him here. So if anything's wrong, that's who we get to blame tonight. We're not going to blame me. We're going to blame Connor. Let's go ahead and give you the starting grid here for heat race number 1. We have Logan Wentz in the 118 on the pole, and the outside of him in the 183 car of Matt Schaefer. Inside of row number 3 is going to be the 011 of Randall Dixon, and outside of him is going to be Scott Rayome in the 444. Inside of row number 3 is going to be the 099 of Glenn Sharp. To his outside, the 713 of Jacob Brown. And rounding out the field tonight in the 05 machine is going to be Donovan Ross. Pretty good field here, Connor. Who you got your eye on?
Just say, it surprises me that Donovan Ross is that far back. Usually, even in any car he hops into, he's usually pretty quick. So that surprised me. But Logan Wentz, he hasn't been running as great recently, I don't think. But I think that's going to turn tonight. I have my eyes on him in this heat race starting off the pole.
Yeah, I think he's definitely got to be the guy to watch here. And don't sleep on that 444 Scott Rayome here. Don't believe they shortened it. No, so we're gonna do 2 pace laps here. So we hurried up, got through it. So we'll still get paid our bonus tonight for getting through heat race grid. But we're gonna do 1 more lap here, and coming through 3 and 4, we should see old Bernie really get on the loud pedal and speed this thing off into pit road here as they're getting ready to wave the green flag here for heat race number 1 at Cedar Lake. There you go. You hear that rocket taking off, and Matt Schaefer looking to fire good on the outside as he's going to be able to pinch Logan Wentz down, take that lead as we have a new leader already in turn 1.
They are all over this track, middle, bottom, top. This is going to be exciting to watch as Logan Wentz enters in right on Schaefer's right rear almost, but Schaefer gets a good exit with that tack off for 1 and 2.
Yeah, and right now we're 3 wide for P2 as it looks like Logan Wentz maybe got to the outside wall a little bit, but the momentum is still going to give him P2 at the line, but 3 wide in 1 and 2.
Randall Dixon's looking really good on that bottom side as he gets past Ray Ohm. He's working on Logan Wentz here. Just 3 and 4, you got to slide up to the middle, but 1 and 2, you're really good on the bottom. There's contact.
Looks like Randall Dixon got a little help from the 444 Scott Ray Ohm. He is not going to be happy about that one.
That slides Jacob Brown into the 3rd spot, if I'm not mistaken here, and there's a hornet's nest on for the transfer spot.
Yeah, and you know, this 4th and final transfer spot is very important tonight. We are sending guys home here as they're side by side for the final transfer spot. Glenn Sharp looking to get it done on the bottom. Going to try to slide it up in 3 and 4, but no room here as we're on the white flag.
As they are catching 3rd place here, and Sharp looks like he has, but Ray Ohm gets a good run off of 2.
Coming through turns 3 and 4, though, for the final time. The 183 of Matt Schaefer is going to be heat race number 1 winner. He's going to start on the front row, and the final transfer spot is going to go to Scott Ray Ohm. Logan Wentz P2, Jacob Brown P3, Glenn Sharp P5, and that's all we're going to get to here real quick. But we'll see the rest of you in the B main. Tough break, but it's going to be quite a B main. There's going to be a lot of big names in there. Let's bring up the starting grid here for heat race number 2. Got Jason Butterfield in the number 93 starting on the pole, and his outside we have Jeffrey Barker in the 513. Inside of row number 2 we have Dean Reynolds to his outside, the 110 of Kelly Wheeler. Starting on the inside of row number 3 we've got Craig Bristol in the 89, and to his outside the 831 of Tyler Flynn. And rounding out the field tonight, the 332 of Sean Akins.
You know, you asked me first last race and never got your pick out, so I'm going to ask you who's your pick this heat race.
All right, going to put the pressure on me here, and I'm going to put the pressure on Dino. I think Dino's going to really make it, sail up to the front, and get it done here.
That was my pick. I think it's all in the new rig he's, well, not the new rig he's got. He's using Mike Mallett's rig out of New York. But he turned some heads there in that charity event. I'm going to go with Jeff Barker here on the top.
Yeah, you know, I think Jeff Barker's going to fight as quick as he can to get to that bottom, but, man, he is definitely a guy to watch here. His pace car should be getting ready to do its turbo thing here, and we should be getting ready to roll off here for heat race number 3.
Green flag.
Or heat race number 2, excuse me. As Jason Butterfield gets a good start on the bottom this time. He's going to look to maybe get up in front of Jeffrey Barker going down the backstretch, but no, Barker's going to be to his outside, and he's going to try to maintain that run. Butterfield got some help from behind, and Barker's going to appreciate that as he's right side by side here, 2 rows.
Kelly Wheeler and Dean Reynolds are stuck in a kind of a weird situation because they have nowhere to go. The top 4 are still exactly how they started this race, but you can't really go anywhere because the very top isn't the fast lane right now, so they are still side by side for the top 4.
Yeah, exactly how they started. And, you know, Tyler Flynn, he loves this back here. He started 6th. He gets a chance to try to run these guys down. And he is all over Kelly Wheeler now for that final transfer spot.
He drove it hard into 1 and 2 there and gained up a lot, but he gave it up on exit with these 358s. You have to be pretty evenly, not drive it in too hard and not get on it too hard getting out. So he gave up some time, but the top 4 of that battle is still awesome side by side.
Yeah, Jason Butterfield, it seemed like was able to clear Jeff Barker as the white flag is out. He can drive in the mirror here if he wants to, block both lines, but the battle right now, man, Dean Reynolds going for P2 here.
Jack Barker's going to get a good run off, but it's Butterfield taking the win there. They were side by side that entire heat race. That was an awesome race.
Yeah, Jason Butterfield, Jeff Barker, Dean Reynolds, Kelly Wheeler, Tyler Flynn, Sean Akins, and Craig Bristol going to round out the field here in heat race number 3. And well, Connor here, I see you're in this bad boy, so good luck.
Thank you.
I'm going to go ahead and mute my friend here, keep him out of trouble. As we'll read off the starting grid here for heat race number 3. On the pole, we have the 883 of Bud Molyneux is outside. We have the 35, Daddy's Money, Connor Ross. Inside of row number 2, we've got the 29 of Steven Stewart is outside. In the 107 is Samuel Bachman. Inside of row number 3, we have Brandon, the Spider Monkey Dittmer, in the 83. Into his outside starting P6. In the 75, got the Mayor, Steven Bixler. And rounding out the field tonight, heat race number 3, we've got the 888. So, you know, I didn't ask him who his pick was, but you know, he wouldn't have picked himself. But I think he's got to be the man here. He's been able to sit up in the booth, watch how guys have been running. I think if he gets a good start, he can try to pinch down the 883 of Bud Molyneux, and I think Connor's going to be a tough contender here in this race. But final time around, coming down the back stretch, all the fans have their cameras out, getting those pictures. And Bud Molyneux looks to take the field to the green flag here for heat race number 3. Top 4 transfer. As Bud Molyneux gets a good start on Connor. He'll be able to slide up and clear him if he wants to. Keep an eye on the 107 of Samuel Bachman. He went as high as he could in 1 and 2. Gets a good run. Not a good enough run on Connor, though, to get to the high side, as they're still side by side for the lead. Too close to call at the line here for lap number 1. Samuel Bachman, though, really hooking up in 1 and 2, trying to make that high side work, and that might be the place to be here now. It looks like the high side's coming in. Samuel Bachman, 3rd to 1st here on lap number 2. Brandon Dittmer trying to hunt down Steven Stewart for that final transfer spot, as Steven Stewart looks to maybe get in the wall a little bit. Connor Ross, though, in the battle here for second, trying to look to the outside. Not as comfortable on the high side of Samuel Bachman. He's going to run that middle line right now, but Brandon Dittmer, that yellow machine all over the back of the 29. He's going to enter in real high. Going to get a big run coming out of turns 3 and 4. Not close enough to send it into 1 and 2. Going to go up real high. Going to look for a crossover here, though, for the final transfer spot. Is he going to sling it in here? Slider! He's going to have him cleared at the line here. White flag. Final time around. Samuel Bachman is your leader here. He's pretty much got it locked up. Your final times through turn 3 and 4. Samuel Bachman is going to be your heat race number 3 winner, followed by Connor Ross, Bud Molyneux. Final transfer, Brandon Dittmer in the 83, Steven Stewart in 5th, Steve Maurer 6th, and Steven Bixler rounding out the field in 7th. Let's go ahead and unmute this man here. Well, what'd the track feel like, Connor?
Track was awesome. You know, middle was rolling for me. I just couldn't get anything going up top. I should have made a gear change, but I was expecting that middle to stay in for a little longer. But congrats to Sam on his heat win, and we're in a good spot for the feature.
Speaking of here, last heat race, I believe, for those starting feature spots. We've got Bob DeGood on the front row in the 7 is outside, in the 088, Trent Verstraeten inside of run number 3. We have Michael Vitale in the 213 is outside, Brandon Templeton in the 31. Paligno Labari in the 19 is going to roll off in P5 is outside the 171. Jake Henry, and starting in last tonight, uncommon for Anthony Morano here. Maybe had a tough qualifying time, didn't really notice there, but he is your current points leader, and he's going to roll off P7.
He actually, I don't think he had a time. Him and John Morano, I don't know if that's father-son or brother duo. Okay, they both had no... John disconnected, so he is not in here, actually, but Anthony did not have a lap, so I don't know if he hit the wall both laps or just missed qualifying maybe, but definitely keep an eye open for him as he's the points leader. I think we were talking, I don't think he's missed the podium in the future.
No, yeah, that was the story last week. Hasn't missed the podium all season, but we're off here. Heat race number 4. Bob DeGood's going to plant that thing on the bottom. Is he going to think about going up in front of Trent? He thought about it, but not enough room. Trent Verstraeten looking to maybe clear him here coming out of turn 4. Big run on the high side for Trent.
This is Templeton's bread and butter up top. Watch him to, get a good run on Trent, but Trent's also really good on the top, so one of these guys are good. Brandon is going to have to go downstairs to the bottom side, hopefully either throw a slider or just get a good enough exit to get past Trent here.
Yeah, Brendan Templeton already up 2 spots up to the P2 position. He is definitely quick right now, but you said it. Him and Trent are in the same spot, but now Brandon's going to try that slider line in 3 and 4. It hooked up a little bit, but you see he just doesn't have the drive off, and he's going to go right back up into that, right behind that bumper of the 088.
He's going to have to get a really good run off of 2 and wait till he's on Trent's bumper to throw that slider to capitalize, but Trent, you already know what Trent's going to do. He's going to cut under and try and drive around him.
Battle for P3's really heating up here as Anthony Morano is looking to get in the picture, but contact between him and the 171 of Jake Henry forces him to the bottom. Now he's got to go back and try to defend, but Bob DeGood doing all he can to hold on to P3 from Michael Vitale here as we're on the white flag lap. Trent Verstraeten looks to have it locked up. His final time through turns 3 and 4. Going to float it up, get a good run, and he is going to be race number 4 winner, followed by Brandon Templeton, Bob DeGood, Michael Vitale in the final transfer. Jake Henry P5, Anthony Morano P6, and Talon Ulibarri is going to roll off P7 here. Man, we're going to have a big name B main here, brother.
Yeah, no kidding. 8 laps, top 8 transfer on to the feature, so I don't know. I should be sending 4 cars home if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong, though.
Yeah, I was never good at math either, but I'm going to agree with you. It sounds right, so we're going to go with it. And starting on the pole here for the B main in the 099, we have Glenn Sharp. He is outside in the 831, Tyler Flynn. Inside of row number 2, the 29 of Steven Stewart. To his outside, the 171 of Jake Henry. Devo Ross in the 05 going to roll off P5 to his outside, the 332 of Sean Akins. Inside of row number 4, we have Steve Maurer in the 888. To his outside, we have Anthony Morano in the 32. Randall Dixon is going to roll off here in P9. To his outside, we've got the 89 of Craig Bristol. And rounding out the field in row number 6, we have Talon Ulibarri in the 11. And to his outside, we've got the mayor, Stephen Dixon.
This is going to be a good heat race with Morano back there. He starts in the 8th spot, if you're right, yeah. He starts in the 8th spot, so
transfer.
He's definitely going to be looking to make up some spots just to have a few spots in between him and that final transfer spot.
No, you're exactly right. He's experienced enough to know the heat will be on back there, and no cautions in our B main, so got to survive. You got to make it here as the pace car should be rolling off, and Glenn Sharp in the 099 machine will lead us off to the green flag here. The B main, 8 make it, 4 go home here at Cedar Lake Speedway.
There was a huge stack up on the inside line, and I think 2 or 3 cars spun there, so those guys are going to really have to dig up front here to get into a final transfer spot.
Yeah, we see Steve Maurer sitting on the inside of 1 and 2, yet to reset. He just now reset, but wow, that had to be scary there for the leaders up front.
There are cars everywhere on this track.
Yeah, we're 3 wide coming out of turn 4. Contact, Jake Henry. Oh, Anthony Morano involved a little bit. Going to keep going. Jake Henry still going to keep going. Oh, my gosh. Craig Bristol involved. He's going to hold on to P8. But, man, Jake Henry right behind him, able to get in the wall, keep her rolling. That was nuts.
I was going to say 2nd through 8th, I think, were all in that under a blanket there. There's going to be carnage. Just had to wait for it to happen. As Cedar Lake is wide, but it is not. It's a dangerous track.
Oh, yeah, the corner exit sneaks up on you so quick as we're watching the battle here for P7. Craig Bristol all over the back of the mare. Steven Bixler going to push him a little bit coming out of 2, and now in the middle of 3 and 4. Going to look under him here. Is he going to beat him the line? Yes, he did. He's going to think about throwing the slider here in 1 and 2. He's going to clear Steven Bixler. Now Steven Bixler, he's going to be looking in that mirror. He's got the 171 of Jake Henry behind him here as they're coming to 2 to go this time by. Glenn Sharp, guy out front. Man, he's got this thing locked up, Kiner. He just keeps putting down quick time after quick time. 1.2 second lead here as he's coming to the white flag.
I'm looking at the battle 3rd through 6th right now. They're side by side for there with Devo up top and even Stewart on the bottom there.
Yeah, and how aware are those guys that they're in transfer spots right now? Are they going hard?
I would say they were aware, but when I've been in that spot, I think that's the hardest time I race, but it should be the time that I'm taking it easy.
We got Connor, if you don't mind, pull up that grid there before you go out to warm-ups and read us the 8 that transferred and the 4 that went home here before we go to break.
Glenn Sharp finished second. Second was Tyler Finn. Third was Devo Donovan Ross. Fourth was Steven Stewart. Fifth was Randall Dixon. Sixth was Anthony Morano. Craig Bristol in seventh, sorry. And running out your Conti there in eighth was Steven Bixler.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break here, and we'll be right back, so don't go anywhere. We've got feature action coming up here. Cedar Lake Open 358s. We are back live here at Cedar Lake. 10 seconds left here in warm-ups. Let's give you the top 3 real quick. Brandon Templeton on the top of the speed charts. Behind him, Trent Verstraeten in the 088, Michael Vitale in the 213s. Want to keep an eye on those guys tonight. You know, Connor, good luck here, man, and I'll give you a second to look at the grid here, but you're the guest. I'm going to make you make your pick here. So, think about it while I'm rolling off this starting grid.
All right, sounds good.
All right, but let's go ahead. Let's roll off this grid here. Starting on the pole is going to be Matt Schaefer in the 183 to his outside. In the 93, we have Jason Butterfield. Inside of row number 2, Samuel Bachman in the 107 to his outside. Trent Verstraeten in the 088. Logan Wentz in the 118 rolls off P5 to his outside. Jeff Barker in the 513. Connor Ross, my broadcast partner, is going to roll off P7 into his outside. Brandon Templeton in the 31. Rolling off in spot number 9, we got Jacob Brown, and his outside we have Dean Reynolds. Rolling off in P11, we have Bud Molyneux in the 883 to his outside. Bob DeGood in number 7. Rolling off in P13, we've got Scott Rayome in the 444 to his outside. Kelly Wheeler in the 110. Rolling off in P15, Brandon Dittmer in the 83 to his outside. Michael Vitale in the 213. Glenn Sharp is going to roll off P17 to his outside. Tyler Flynn. Rolling off in P19 is going to be Devo Donovan Ross and his outside. The 29, Steven Stewart. The final 4, having trouble moving my grid here, but the final 4 are going to be Randall Dixon, Anthony Morano, Craig Bristol, and Steven Bixler. Real quick, Connor, who you got, my man?
You know, if I want anyone to win, I want it to be someone who beat me in my heat race, so I'm going to go Samuel Bachman.
Ah, man, no kidding. That was my pick.
You took my pick,
so. On me. I'm going to go with Logan Wentz. I think this may be his time to get it done. Like you said, he's been struggling a little bit. Maybe he'll turn it around tonight. I'm going to roll with 118. But good luck, Connor, and go get him, man.
Thank you. You too.
All right, well, we'll slap the mute on Connor here. Pace car should be getting ready to roll off here. We're coming through turns 3 and 4 for the final time, and the green flag is out. Matt Schaefer's going to lead your field here. Jason Butterfield, though, he's not going away. He's making that outside work, but quick caution. Randall Dixon and Craig Bristol. Let's take a look at that. So looks like the final 2 here. Randall Dixon's going to be in that 011. Happened way in front. Looks like Brandon Dittmer went around. Let's go back. Let's take a look at that here. Looks like Scott Rayham and Brandon Dittmer. Let's try to take a different angle here. Scott Rayham in the 4. Oh, he's going to get up over the tires and just get sideways in front of Dittmer, who gets a little help from behind, and nothing he can do. Tough break. Is going to look to restack him here, double file, and go at it again. Definitely not the start Scott Rayham and those guys were looking for. Big gap from the pace car. If you guys ever listen to me and go back, or there I can see the lights off, you're close enough. I always appreciate it when you're closer to the pace car because it makes me not look like a dummy. I can see those pace lights. I can't select the iRacing pace car with my software, but pace car is rolling off here. Final time 2, 3, and 4 as we're looking to fire them up again here. Matt Schaefer with a good jump this time. Able to clear Jason Butterfield, no problem, as now the battle is on for second. Samuel Bachman hooking it up on the bottom. He doesn't want to caution you. He needs this thing to keep rolling, and, you know, there it is. I heard guys getting together, and caution. Looks like Jeffrey Barker. You guys are going to have to settle down here. We're going to have to go single file here. It looks like Trent Verstraeten maybe in the outside wall. Jeff just maybe floated up a teeny bit. I couldn't tell who was on his outside there. Let's take a look here again. Let's go over top, right along in the drone camera. Going to keep an eye on Jeff Barker. He's got that white top there in the middle. You'll see, I think that's Trent Verstraeten on his outside just enough, and, you know, Barker probably didn't know he was there, and that's a case of maybe Trent should have backed out there. You don't want to give up any spots this early. We're not pass guys, but, man, it's tough. And actually, I blame Trent. It looks like that was Brandon Templeton. Trent's more towards the front, and, you know, Brandon would never do that on purpose, but that's a case of he goes back and looks at that. I think he's going to be wishing he maybe checked out there as Barker, I'd say 10 out of 10 times checks up for people there. And see Barker able to get out of the pits there real quick. Line back up. Pace car should be off this time. This Matt Schaefer looking to get another good restart here on the bottom.
Green.
He does just that. Good jump. Is he going to slide up on the exit of 1 and 2? No, he's going to keep it in the middle. Caution is out again here. Let's see who's to blame this time. I've seen a couple people. Maybe it starts with Jacob Brown here. Let's go back and take a look. Jacob Brown in that 713 machine. You're going to see him on the inside behind Brandon Templeton. Driving, he just gets help from Bob the Good. Nothing could really do. Stacks up the field there from the bottom. Let's go right on board with Bob here. Pull that cockpit view up. Got a lot of dirt on there. Yeah, just maybe didn't expect him to check up as much as he did. And before you know it, he's in his back seat. Some tough break. Right now, that's his 3 cautions. I think we'll be single file here the rest, if I'm not mistaken, but we'll have to see how it goes here. 'Cause, yeah, the lights are off. They're staying single file, so trying to get these guys to settle down a little bit and encourage some racing. As the grid here is going to filter out, you're seeing it change. We'll let you know kind of who the hard chargers are right now. looking like Anthony Morano. He's up 9 spots as your hard charger, but they're off. Matt Schaefer with a good jump. Samuel Bachman looking to that outside, trying to get a good run. Going to throw it down in the bottom there in 3 and 4. Look, going to run that slider line. Going to get better exit than Matt Schaefer, who pinched himself off. And, you know, it's only a matter of time here, I think, before we have a battle for the lead as Matt Schaefer's continuing to stay on that bottom side. Let's go. Let's move our way back through the field right now. Dean Reynolds in P8, and that's 79. He's trying to run down Brandon Templeton and Connor Ross on that high side. Connor Ross looks to be maybe just struggling a little bit, not very comfortable up there. Jason Butterfield gonna maybe complete the pass at the line. No, Connor's gonna beat him back to the line here. He's gonna throw it back in hard into 1 and 2. Much better that time. Very smooth through 1 and 2. Great exit. It looks like he should lock her down. The battle is heating up towards the front. Samuel Bachman all over the 183 of Matt Schaefer. Matt Schaefer's gonna slide up on one of the exit. Gonna get, got a little help there from Samuel Bachman. Is Matt Schaefer able to keep it straight, went around, wow. Looked like he maybe went up there and threw a block, and it looked like Trent, no, who was it? Oh wait, what happened there? Losing a couple guys. Man, that was a wild lap. But Jason Butterfield, meanwhile, he's going to try to go to work here on Trent Verstraeten. We saw a lot of stuff happen there.
Flag is out.
Caution is out. We're going to try to catch back up on some of it here. Let's see, Jacob Brown. Let's see if he was involved in this most recent caution. We'll go back and try to find that contact there. He got a little help there. We'll move backwards here. See if I went back and found the right one here. Yeah, I did. So it looked like, let's go back. I'm going to click on that again here. So it looked like Sam, and then I'm not sure what ended up happening to Sam, but he's not towards the front anymore. We're going to go up top here in the chopper, or in the blimp. And yeah, just barely gets into him. And we'll have to see what happened to him. We're going on. Maybe Samuel felt bad about what he did there, but man, when he goes back and looks at this, I don't think he was the culprit. He's going to be a good guy and pull off. But tough break here. So we're going back, green flag. That was perfect. Trent Verstraeten here is going to fire it up. Throw it in hard into 1 and 2. Maybe gets in the wall a little bit. Is going to open up the door for Jason Butterfield. Jason Butterfield's looking to maybe mount a charge here on the inside in 3 and 4, but he's not going to get a lot of speed on that exit as Trent Verstraeten is going to pull away. Let's go back. Let's find your hard charger right now. Anthony Morano he's battling for P9. He's going to complete the pass there, up 13 spots right now. Heck of a charge for your points leader, but he's got a long way to go if he wants to keep that podium streak going. Now, speaking of the podium, Connor Ross battling for that final step there. Logan Wentz in the 118 on his outside. Jason Butterfield maybe struggling a little bit in front of him on the bottom. Got bound up. He's going to lose a spot here as we're 4 wide for P2. Contact between Logan Wentz and Brandon Templeton. We watch it live as he's still going around. Big wreck. Oh, wild flip. Wild flip for Bud Molyneux. Wow. Let's go back and take a look at this replay here. We watched it happen. Looked like he maybe got into Brandon Templeton on corner exit. Let's see here. Let's go to the blimp. See him right there in the middle. Brandon Templeton up against the wall as hard as he can go. Yeah, he couldn't go any higher. It looks like Logan just maybe floated up a little more. Went down, bounced into Connor, and just lost it. Tough break there. That's definitely a racing incident. I'd say, no harm, no foul, but definitely was some harm done there. Tough break for Logan Wentz. Bud Molyneux Saw him with the scary flip, and that was no fun. Let's see. We're gonna be real quick about this. Let's ride on board. Cockpit with Bud Molyneux real quick. Oh, this gets hit. Digs in. You hear him hit the throttle, and over it goes. Let's get back up front here. Move your leader, Trent Verstraeten. Should be the final time around this time. Through 3 and 4.
Green flag, green flag.
As Trent Verstraeten gets not the best restart he probably wants. Jason Butterfield all over him. Going to look to the bottom in 1 and 2. Tried to mount a run. Not going to be able to do it. As Trent Verstraeten just carrying too much speed on that high side. Butterfield is not giving up on the bottom. Brandon Templeton, though, pay attention to that 31 car. Up 5 spots, coming real hard on the high side. Is he going to have something to say about P2? Going to throw it in there. Going to keep all that speed on that slider line, and that's the difference. Butterfield, he looks to be getting a decent exit, but he's restricted himself a little bit. Exiting 3 and 4 in the slick, not really finding the tack like he is in 1 and 2. Is still close to Trent. Very impressed with what he's doing down there right now. Anthony Morano, though, you're looking at him on your screen. Man, 15 spots. He's up to P7. He's got about 12 more laps here to keep that podium streak going, but it is not going to be easy. These guys in front of him are going to be hard to beat. Dean Reynolds is in P5. Looking to the outside of Matt Schaefer. Is he going to get the spot? Looks like he is. Going to try to maybe get a run on Connor Ross here, but Connor Ross doing a good job on the exit of 3 and 4. The battle is heating up, though, for P2. Brandon Templeton on the outside of Jason Butterfield. Going to pinch him down into 3 and 4. Slide it up into 3 and 4. Going to get a great exit. We got a new guy in P2. Brandon Templeton setting his sights on your leader, Trent Verstraeten, who's in the wall in 1 and 2. Oh, man, and that opened the door for Butterfield. Can he think about throwing the slider and parking it on Brandon Templeton? Either way, we're going to have a new leader here with 8 to go. And it's Brandon Templeton just going to beat him to the line on the high side. Big run out of 1 and 2. Butters better get up there as quick as he can. I don't think the bottom is where you want to be. Brandon Templeton is showing you right now. You can rip that lip. It is real thin in 1 and 2, but he is keeping it straight, and he is going quick right now. Anthony Morano, though, up to P6. Randall Dixon, too, up 12 spots right now into P9. Good run for him. Make it 13 spots up to P8 as Kelly Wheeler gets into the wall in front of him. Randall Dixon contact, though, with, who is that, the 83 of Matt Schaefer, but we have a caution out Brandon Dittmer, the Spider Monkey. Let's take a look here. We're going to be in that yellow machine. Real high, 1 and 2, just going to get in that wall. And Connor said, you know, he didn't get those tires, but man, you get in that wall in 1 and 2, it is just not forgiving. It sucks you right around. Oh, but it's going to get a reset here. When we get the green, I believe we should have 5 to go, maybe 6 to go. But we're going to be in for a shootout here. Man, it's going to get wild. It gives Anthony Morano one last dive at that podium spot. But being within 10 to go, we will be going single file here. So Brandon Templeton is definitely just going to look to set the pace here with a good restart. Maybe fire a little later or earlier than he has been. Catch the Jason Butterfield sleeping there in second. Final time going down the backstretch here under caution at Cedarlake Speedway for Brandon Templeton. He can fire any time after that pace car takes off, and he's going to go right now. Good jump for Brandon Templeton. Going to get a 3-car gap back to Jason Butterfield, and he's going to go right back up to the top and let that baby sing. The battle right now, though, for P3. Connor Ross is looking under Trent Verstraeten. Trent Verstraeten likes running that high side. They're both where they want to be, I think. See who can make it work door to door at the line. Trent Verstraeten's going to hold down P3. Dean Reynolds all over the back of Connor Ross, 2 for P4. One slip from Connor, and Dean and Anthony are right there as let's go on board with Dean Reynolds, see what it's looking like. All over the left rear of that 35, Connor Ross, and Connor Ross all over the 088 of Trent Verstraeten. These guys just can't make a mistake here, but 3 to go this time by. Brandon Templeton, barring a mistake, looks to have this thing locked up. He is just in another dimension on that outside. Nobody ripping it like he is. Trent's trying, but seems to get that right rear in the wall every now and then as we're 2 to go. Anthony Morano, the story was for him.
The yellow flag is
7 races, 7 podiums. He's got a long way to go, but caution is out here with 2 to go. Tyler Flynn. Let's take a look. Oh, man. Not too. Oh, it looked like maybe. Yeah, he got some help, got spun around there. Let's go back. He didn't have it on the right car there. So I think that was the funky replay. Looks like that's coming out of 1 and 2. They're going down the backstretch. Gets into the tires a little bit, just gets some help from behind. And, ooh, whoever got into him from behind, I think we had somebody incident point out. Like, tough break. That can happen here. Sometimes get the gloves off a little bit driving around here, but we're gonna have a green-white checkered here. I'm seeing is coming out of turn 4 here. Should get the 1 to green this time by. Brandon Templeton's got to pull another trick out of that bag, able to get a great launch on that last restart. Can he do it again? If he does, goodbye to this win, as it's going to take a lap and a half for these things to get up the song and run him down.
green flag, green flag.
Green flag is out. Brandon Templeton with a good jump. Not as good as last time, as Butters is kind of still in the picture, but Trent Verstraeten's going to try to put the pressure on him. Right now, Connor's got the pressure on him. They're 3 wide for third coming out of turn 3. White flag. Brandon Templeton looks to have this thing locked up as he's coming down the backstretch for the final time through turns 3 and 4. Brandon Templeton is going to be your feature winner here at Cedar Lake, followed by Jason Butterfield, Trent Verstraeten, Connor Ross, Dean Reynolds, Anthony Morano off the podium for the first time this season. Matt Schaefer, P7, Kelly Wheeler, Randall Dixon, and Glenn Sharp rounding out the top 10. We're going to unmute Connor here. Man, Connor, what a wild race out there.
Man, that was a lot of fun, just trying to find a line to get past those guys, and Dean Reynolds and Morano breathing down your neck. That was a blast.
Yeah, you know, you guys put on a good show, and it just seemed like the high side was where you wanted to be tonight. And Brandon Templeton, man, he proved that as he put on a show. But we're going to give these guys a minute or two to catch their breaths here. We're going to wait for the top 3 to get up here in the interview room. Hey, Trent Verstraeten, man. Zach up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Well, man, you know, you're pretty good tonight. Seemed like you just made 1 or 2 mistakes that maybe took the win away from you on the high side. But, man, it looked like it was really hard to run that thin line up there.
Yeah, it definitely was. Yeah, just kind of missed my mark that one lap and got sucked into the wall and couldn't get off of it. And, you know, it happens. Part of running the top. Like, sometimes you make those mistakes. But, yeah, it's tough because this is usually one of my better tracks. So Usually don't make that mistake too often here, but it happens. And probably shouldn't even been up front with all that stuff that happened earlier. I was a little confused on why Bachman just stopped. But yeah, overall it was a pretty good run.
Yeah, I had to go back and look at that myself, Trent. After that, I was kind of didn't know what happened to Sam. I saw he made a little contact and just noticed that he pulled off. And when I went back and looked at the replay, you probably had the best view in the house, but I don't think he was as guilty as he felt he was. It looked like it was
No, he
maybe
definitely wasn't.
yeah, it didn't look like there
And
was a
then
lot of
I think he
contact.
just thought the caution came out because he stopped and then asked for an EOL, and then ended up must have realized that the caution didn't fly and ended up he just ended up disconnecting after that. But yeah, it was a little confusing. I just didn't stop, and I was like, if they're gonna throw a yellow, I'll stop when the yellow comes out. But I just kept going. So yeah, it was a little confusing there.
Yeah, well, you used it to your benefit tonight, and sometimes that's what you got to do, man. Able to bring home a P3. So, got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, my teammates at Venom Racing, Dean at Super Dirt Car Series, you for broadcasting, and like Roger and everyone behind the scenes at Coast to Coast for putting the league on.
Well, congratulations, Trent. And you going to run some sprints tonight?
Yeah, I'll be in the Rebels. We'll make sure we don't step on it this time.
Sounds good, man. I got a feeling I'll be talking to you again. Don't want to jinx you, but carry on that momentum. Good luck, brother.
Thank you.
That's Trent Verstraeten, your P2 finisher. We're going to go ahead and pull up Jason Butterfield here. Hey, Jason, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
I think Connor had dipped out. Connor, you back now? You want to take over
Yes,
this interview?
yeah, I'd love to. So, Jason, you ran second today. What did you need just to get by Brandon there?
This is one of them tracks I can't run the top at. Every time I've tried, I've always wrecked myself with the wall. And I just didn't want to risk it. So I figured I'd play it safe and hope he made a mistake.
Oh, fair enough. I've been there here and wrecking myself, but I followed you on that middle of bottom, and I didn't think that was going to be the place to be, but it definitely was fast. What do you think you needed more of to get by Brandon? Did you need him to make a mistake, or was there something you could have done behind the wheel?
Just mainly I needed him to make a mistake, and I ran through the slick too much. I burnt off too much of my right rear. I checked it. I was down to like 80% on it. And that's, my fault there, but just mainly needed him to make a mistake.
Anybody you got to thank for your second place run here tonight?
Oh, yeah, I got to thank all the guys over at Venom, Dean in the Super Dirt Car Series, Brewer and Brewer, Garofalo's Imports, Otter Creek Lawnscapes, and you guys for broadcasting, and C2C for putting this on for us every week, and most importantly, my wife.
Yeah.
Congrats on your second place, and good luck in the sprint car race if you're running those.
Okay, thanks, fellas.
Yeah, and smart man not to leave that last one out. That's always the most important one there.
Yep, sure is.
Good run, Jason, man. Hopefully we talk to you again next week.
Yeah, thanks, fellas.
Well, that's Jason Butterfield. He brought it home P2, and I don't see Brandon Templeton in the waiting room, so you know what? I'm going to do my best Brandon Templeton thank you impression. He'd thank Dirt Track Bank for this one. I guarantee it. It's always the first one he'd thank. He'd thank
1,000%.
You and me there. He'd thank Mission 22, and I would ask him how he did tonight, how he ran the top, and he would have said he used a lot of throttle control, and he just hunkered it down up there. He was the man to beat tonight. Kind of stinks we don't get to talk to him here, but he did good, and he definitely earned that win tonight, and that's going to help him make up some time on Anthony Morano, who I talked about a little, Connor. No podium for the first time tonight this season for Anthony Morano, so this was the race everybody else was looking for.
But he didn't have a bad night also. No, not a podium, obviously, but he, I don't know where he started, but he finished in
He's
fifth.
still a hard charger.
Top five. Yeah.
He got sixth. He got sixth. He almost got fifth, from what I'm
Still amazing run for him as, I guess if you want one of your off nights to be a sixth place out of a 28-car field, I guess that's the night, right?
Yeah, no kidding. But we're going to take a quick break here, and we'll be back with some Rebel sprint car action here at Cedarlake Speedway, so don't go anywhere.
If you are looking for some action on Sunday nights, then look no further than the hills overlooking the beautiful Mohawk Valley and the track that calls them home. The Glenridge Motorsports Park has that action you are looking for. From Dirt Car 358 Modified, Sportsman, and Pro Stocks, to the Rush Late Models and more, the Ridge has it all. So come on out to the Ridge each and every Sunday night from May 5th through September the 8th. When you get there, make sure you grab yourself some of the best food around. Sign the little ones up for the kids club and grab your favorite seat, and then hold on tight, because the dirt car action will leave you craving more in 2024. The Glenridge Motorsports Park, your home for dirt car Sunday nights.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a
bit of a hiatus, so let's get. Tonight we talked about it.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
And we're back here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Sorry, having a little technical delays there on the computer. Wasn't talking while you were watching the end of warm-ups there. But we're in the Rebels B division. Should be going 30 laps here tonight at Cedar Lake. Should be one heck of a show here. My partner Connor, he's going to be qualifying, so I won't make him talking till he's done here. But we're going to roll on board with, looks like the Bass Man sitting up there at the top. Yeah, we're going to go out here for the first lap with the 747. You're going to see him run the high side here, 3 and 4, get a big run coming out of 4, and now we're off. First lap here. Let's see what he's got. 747, he's going to run the high side in 1 and 2. Going to try to keep it as straight as he can. Little sideways on exit. Not going to want that. That's going to hurt the lap time a little bit. He's going to float up to the top here, 3 and 4. Find that tack on exit. Keep it real straight. He's going to look to carry a lot of speed. And he's going to come back P8 right now. Talon Ulibarri at the top of the sheets right now with a 12.97. Kevin Fry behind him right now with a 13 flat. Watching Talon Ulibarri. Can he get faster on lap number 2? No, he can't. New quick time, though. Dean Reynolds. And now Connor Ross, actually, second lap. Trent Verstraeten. We just see guys rolling in faster and faster. Trent Verstraeten takes it over. Now Connor Ross is on P2. Let's see. Gary Offit still got another lap to go. Roll up out of turn 4. Can Gary Offit get faster this time by? And he does. Going to move up to P8. Jacob Brown on lap number 2. Can he move up from P10? Coming out of turn 4 for the final time. And no, 13.21. He's going to stay P10. Ross Carina right now. His final lap. Now this is our bounty man. Not sure what the current bounty is up to. I know I owe half of it. I should know a little bit more than that. But Marty, you know, he had a little computer trouble tonight. He's not going to be here. We do have a bounty on Ross Carina. If he can finish inside of the top 5 and not get wrecked out of the race and somebody wins or beats him, I believe that's up to $30. Do not hold me to that. We'll have to discuss that officially with Marty, but
I think Marty said it was up to 40.
okay, up to 40. Well, if
I think I heard that during the charity broadcast.
We're going to blame Connor for the extra $10. How does that sound, everyone?
Sounds good, and I'm not paying a dime.
Well, let's give off the starting grid here for heat race number 1. We have Jacob Brown on the pole in the 713 yet to grid. To his outside, Brian Dickens in the 122 also yet to grid. Talon Ulibarri is going to roll off on the front or in the inside of row number 3 in the 19 to his outside. Trent Verstraeten in the 088. Greg Parmalee is going to roll off P5, and rolling at the back here of heat race number 1 and rounding out the field is going to be Tyler Flynn in the 830.
Hang on, we're not going green. Not going green.
Not sure. I just heard my iRacing spotter talk to me and say we're not going green.
We sure on the pace laps, but Cedar Lake is a weird track, and something happens and it messes it up.
Well, I'm going to have to turn that spotter off. I thought I had sounds off here, ladies and gentlemen. I know you won't hear any bad language from drivers. I know that's off, but I didn't know that my spotter was going to come over, so it's a little behind the scenes for everyone.
I think this is one of the only tracks that it actually does that, where if you shorten it, pace truck just, because where it pulls off, it messes everything up, but we should be, yeah, the pace truck's off now.
Yeah, who designed this dang track? As the pace car rolls off here, we're going to kick off heat race number 1. Contact up front right away between Jacob Brown and Brian Dickens. Brian able to keep her rolling, but whoa, Nelly! Who is that around? Talon Ulibarri ended up losing it going center around. Somehow Brian Dickens is still in it. He's gotten contacted twice in 1 lap, still holding on to P2, Connor.
Tyler Flynn and Brian Dickens contact again. Dickens somehow straightens that one out again. Yeah. Somehow he's still going, like how you just said. Trent Verstraeten in 3rd, and he's going to be a man on the mission here. He's looking up the middle there, 3. Oh, contact!
Man, these guys, nobody wants to finish this thing as Trent Verstraeten down in the infield. Oh, man. Battle still up front, though. As I saw, too, Brian Dickens missing his front wing after all that contact. It's Crazy still in the picture, and now P3 contact for P2. Greg Parmalee and Jacob Brown. Greg Parmalee survives. Jacob Brown, though, he's going to lose some time, and Talon Ulibarri's going to be all over him now for that final transfer spot. But we don't have 24 guys here, if I'm not mistaken, so everybody's going to make the show tonight.
Correct.
Right now, though, 2.5 laps to go here as Tyler Flynn looks to have this thing pretty much locked up with all the contact behind him here. 2 to go as Greg Parmalee also pulling away from Brian Dickens a little bit, but Brian Dickens doing a good job wheeling that thing around without a front wing because that thing has to be super tight.
Definitely not the most fun thing you've ever driven without a wing, but it's a handful.
Yeah, and for everybody out there wondering too why it tightens up, imagine he's got no air coming down on the front end. So going in the corners, that front end feels real light here, but he's able to nurse it home. P3, Tyler Flynn's going to win. Greg Parmalee, P2, Talon Ulibarri, your final transfer spot. But Jacob Brown, P5, and Trent Verstraeten, P6. Like I say, I shouldn't have said transfer spot. Everybody should make it tonight, so that shouldn't be a problem. But I'll tell you what, Connor. Good luck here because somebody taking the bounty tonight, that might be a problem as I see Ross inherited the pole here on the invert.
And Kevin Fry right to my inside and right behind him. So this is going to be a tough one, but should be a fun one.
Yeah, I mean, he said it's going to be a tough one, but should be a fun one here. Let's give you the starting grid here. Ross Corinne is going to roll off on the pole to his outside. Gary Offit in the 94. Kevin Fry is going to roll off in P3 to his outside. Connor Ross in the 35. No, last but not least, final row tonight is going to be Steven Stewart in the 29, and to his outside, the mayor, Steven Bixler in the 75. Well, we're going to go ahead and give Connor a mute here, but good luck, kid.
Thank you.
All right, got him muted. Should keep him out of trouble here as Ross Corinne is trying to make that bounty a little bit bigger. He might have to win a couple more weeks here and rig a deal with somebody to split that money with him, as that thing's starting to really get up there. Ross Corinne, he wasn't here last week at Eldora, I believe we were at. Missed the show, but will still be the points leader with after drop weeks and everything comes out to play. But pace car is off. Ross Corinne is looking to lead him to the green flag here for heat race number 2. Gets a good jump on the bottom. Already cleared the 94 of Gary Offit as Connor Ross kind of got slowed down behind Gary Offit. He's going to lose a spot. He's looking to get around as quick as he can, but easier said than done here is now Ross Corinne moving it up high. Going to try to run the high side, but Kevin Fry hooking it up on the bottom. Steven Stewart out of nowhere coming up in P3. Going to battle Kevin Fry for P2 as the battle is on right now between Connor Ross and Gary Offit. Connor Ross looking to the outside. Is he going to be able to get a big enough run to get there? Gary shuts the door, maybe pinches him a little bit. Connor's going to look back up there, try for it again. Going to get a good enough run to beat him to the line here as he's going to look now hard for P3, but the battle is on for the front. Kevin Fry got a big run and running two, was all over the back of that 10 car. Ross the Boss Corinne. Kevin Fry's going to throw it in there, but going to get a woed up, really slowed it down. He's just seems like he's having much more success on the entry at turn 1 and 2 compared to Ross Corinne right now. There are 3 to go. Connor Ross pretty much has P4 lockdown, trying to catch up to Steven Stewart as he's trying to go to work on Kevin Fry. Kevin Fry is going to hit the tires, going to come back up the track in front of Connor Ross there. Connor's going to look to the outside, try to carry momentum here. Ross Corinne is going to get the white flag this time by. We've got 1 to go. Connor Ross on the outside of Kevin Fry looking to steal P3 after he got into the Turtles. Maybe trying to come steal P2 here as Ross Corinne is going to have it locked up. Connor Ross ripping the high side. Contact! Not going to get it at the line. Steven Stewart's going to hold on to P2. Connor Ross P3. Kevin Fry P4. Gary Offit P5. And Steven Bixler's going to come home P6. Well, you're unmuted. What a battle to the line there for P2. It seemed like Ross the Boss had it locked up, man, but you made it interesting there for second.
Yeah, he definitely did. It was hard to get past Gary there off. I just couldn't get a good run off him, and I was too loose on entry, and when I finally did get by him, I messed up on the infield tires. But I'll take third. It's one more row or 2 more rows better than fourth.
Yep, you got to take them when you can get them. Let's real quick give you the starting grid here for your final heat race in your Rebels 360 division. We got Bryce Odell in the 62 going off on the front row, and to his outside, JJ Odell. Inside of row number 2, we have Brandon Dittmer, the Spider Monkey, in the 83. To his outside, we got Dean Reynolds in the 79. And rounding out the field tonight, we've got the Bass Man in the 747 of Roger Craig.
Who's your pick in this one, Zach?
Man, Brandon Dittmer, he had a real rough 358s. I know you didn't get to see it, but he was involved in a couple wrecks. And I just think he's going to turn it around here. Brandon is really good in these, and I think he's a driver that belongs in the A division, to be honest with you.
He is very fast. If you remember Williams Grove, he came out of nowhere. And he was...
Green flag.
Oh, they caught us sleeping there. I thought they were on the backstretch. I got running my mouth too long. We're off. Green flag as the Odells look to push each other up the track here, coming out of 2. Opens the door for my man in the 83, Brandon Dittmer, the Spider Monkey, looking for P2 at the line. He's going to get him.
Dean Reynolds is just patiently waiting. He was looking like he's going to go straight up the middle there, but Dittmer is running really good on that bottom side.
Yeah, having a lot of success on the bottom in 1 and 2. Doing not so bad in 3 and 4, but just really loses momentum on exit. He'd like to be able to throw a slider on him in 1 and 2 so he could take over that high middle side, because now he's got Dino looking to his outside for P2.
And Dino's running, I was going to say the middle, but no, he's running the bottom. He's going to have a good run off this. They're almost 3 wide for the lead. There they are. Oh, still 3 wide.
Yeah, JJ tried to go in and throw a crossover of his own on the leader, Brandon Dittmer, but he didn't realize Dino was home down on the bottom, and we've got a new guy in P2.
Dino's looking really stout on that bottom side. He's got to run the middle in 3 and 4 because there's not much tack on the bottom, but 1 and 2, he's getting a really good run off. He's just got to clean up turns 3 and 4, and he might become the leader.
Yeah, he's looking real fast on the bottom of 1 and 2, and now he's able to slide up in front of JJ. Going to be able to take away the preferred line on exit, but JJ's going to try to throw it in there. No, he's not. He's going to get on the binders here. We got 2 to go.
It's almost smart if Dean just follows Dittmer in 3 and 4 and then runs the bottom in 1 and 2. That way he's running a different line, but Dittmer's really fast out front here.
Yeah, barring a mistake here from Brandon Dittmer, I think he's got this locked up as the Spider Monkey is flying, coming out of turns 1 and 2. Going to throw the slider and protect the 79 of Dean Reynolds, and he is going to win heat race number 3, followed by 79 of Dean Reynolds, JJ Odell, Bryce Odell, and the Bassman or Roger Craig. Well, we should be rolling off in here to warm up, so we're going to take a quick break here, and we will be right back with you here. Don't go anywhere on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. We're back here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Got about 20 seconds left here. Warm-ups right now. J.J. Odell's on the top of the speed charts with a 13.20. Kevin Fry right behind him with 13.21. Corinna with a 13.22. And Trent Verstraeten with a 13.23. So we got the top four right there all in order. Should be a pretty good race. Track is going to change up a little bit, though. So don't exactly want to be real fast right now because it is going to change. But coming up here, going to have 17 guys, I think, making a call here for the feature. Should be a pretty good show. Remember, if Ross Corinna is able to finish in the top 5 and somebody's able to beat him without, dumping him or making it look real egregious here, we do have a bounty set. So keep that in mind tonight here as we're going to give you a quick reading of the grid here. Tyler Flynn's going to roll off on the pole in the 831. It is outside. Ross Corinna in the 10 car. Rolling off in P3, we've got 83. Brandon Dittmer, and it is outside in the 4. Greg Parmalee. Rolling off in P number 5, we have Steven Stewart in the 29 to his outside. Dean Reynolds in the 79. Rolling off in P7, we have Brian Dickens into his outside. Connor Ross in P8. Rolling off in P9, we have J.J. Odell into his outside, Talon Yulabari. Rolling off in P11, we've got Kevin Fry into his outside, Bryce Odell, excuse me. Rolling off P13, we've got Jacob Brown into his outside. We've got Gary Offit in the 94. Rolling off in P15, we've got Roger Craig in the 747 into his outside. Trent Verstraeten in the 088. And rounding out the field tonight, we've got the mayor, Steven Dixon. Real quick, Connor, who you got?
Anybody but Corinth. No, I'm joking. I'm going to go with Dittmer, Brandon Dittmer.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick, and I'm going to, I think it's going to carry on. It's the easiest pick in the house to make. I got to go with Ross Corinna. Looked fast in warm-ups, and I think he's in the preferred line right now if he can get a good jump.
We all know why you're saying Ross Corinna.
Yeah, I'd like to keep that money in my pocket for a little longer. You're exactly right. But I'm going to throw you on mute here, kid. Good luck here.
Thank you.
All right, we got Connor muted down here. We're getting ready to roll off this time by as they're rolling through 3 and 4. We're going to see the pace car speed off, and Tyler Flynn is going to look to lead him to the green flag here. Going to get a good jump on the bottom in that tack. Going to try to maybe get up in front of Ross. No, going to keep it there in the middle, and you saw he lost grip on exit. It's going to open the door almost for the Spider Monkey of Brandon Dittmer if he wants to run that bottom. Ross Corinna, the man with the plan this season. Your leader at the line here, lap number 1. Steven Stewart, though, getting helped around from Prairie Offit, I believe. We're going to have to go back and take a look at that tough break. Let's see here. Let's see what happened. Oh, that was a little too late in that. Let's see here. Oh, that was something we missed earlier, I believe. Who went around there? Tough break. Try to rewind this a little bit. All right, so right now we're on right. So Roger was the car we saw go around on the backstretch. That may have actually been the caution. But yeah, tough break. Ross Corinna, though, I'll tell you, he's one guy who doesn't mind this. He gets to go up top here on this restart. He's going to be the control car here. 1 to green, double file, coming through 3 and 4. Should go this time by. And you're seeing Tyler Flynn's going to go up as high as he can right next to Ross. Really try to take advantage of that grip that he's got, but he's no man's land. Ross Corinna is gone. 6 car lengths going into turn 1. Wow. Contact in the back, though. Looked like Dean Reynolds got turned around. Missing a top wing. Oh, man. We saw it in the 358s, a lot of quick accidents. Let's see if Dean got some help here. We know what car we're looking at, that 79. Going to slow it down here. Does he get a little help from behind the 19 of Talon Ulibarri? Yeah, he gets a lot of help, actually. So Ulibarri, that's tough there. He kind of got stuck into it. Then you see Brian Dickens. He just comes in. Nowhere for him to go. A lot of guys get collected in that one. Tough break. Real early to have to use that quick repair of your Dino. You don't want to have to use that this early, that's for sure. But some guys who have taken advantage of this. Trent Verstraeten through 2 accidents, up 7 spots. He's up to 9th. He restarted in almost the last position today, so he's taken good advantage of these. And Ross Carina, he's took advantage of that first start. Pinched Tyler Flynn down there, kind of turn 1, got to go to run off. Tyler Flynn, he pinched himself off, He contained himself into that middle, and Ross just made him pay for it. Took the outside, and he hasn't looked back. He's going to get a good jump here. Still a great restart. Not as good of a restart as last time, but man, that was hard to match after what he did the previous time. Connor Ross looking on the bottom, though. Taking over P4. Can he go to work on Brandon Dittmer? Got a couple laps to go as we see somebody around in the back. Jacob Brown. Let's see if we can get a replay on that. Are we having more wrecks up here? Talon Ulibarri and Roger Craig after. Let's go. We saw that happen live with Jacob Brown. Let's go see what happened after. I could hear him wreck, and that was the giveaway. So Talon gets hit in the left rear there. Is maybe damaged a little bit. He was going off the pit. Wasn't paying attention that the 747 was up high there. And just not the time to go in pit road. Tough break for Roger Craig, as I think maybe he already had to use a quick repair, so he won't have any left. But let's go back to Jacob Brown for this. Let's go back to the Chapman Racing drone camera. Let's see if he gets any help here from behind. Nope, you see, just lost it all by himself there, so nobody to blame but the guy in the mirror. Ross Carina, though, still leading the charge up front, but Brandon Dittmer was able to get by Tyler Flynn and take over P2, so we'll have to see if the Spider Monkey has anything he can get. Connor Ross up 3 spots up into that top 5. He was in P4 there for a little bit, working on Parmalee, but Parmalee was able to secure that spot back before the caution came out. 3 cautions already. Should be single file here for the rest of the show, I think. Final time through turns 3 and 4. As Ross Carina looks to help me keep that money in my pocket tonight. If you're out there watching, let us know who you're rooting for in the chat box. We love to hear from you. Ross Carina throwing it off into turns 1 and 2 here. 25 to go. Not as good of a start as he would have liked. Brandon Dittmer, much better job in that P2 position, and he is all over the back of Ross Carina. You remember Connor Ross talked about it. Brandon Dittmer was in a battle for this win here at Williams Grove, but just lost it at the end of the race. Couldn't really find a way to pass, even though he had the quickest car. Can he make up for it tonight? He's going to throw it in there, going to let the right rear get in the wall. Not going to like that. Going to keep it out. He's really entering real high in 3 and 4, but see, it pays off well with that exit speed that he gets. Trying to go to work, but Trent Verstraeten, he is your hard charger right now, up to 6th, up 10 spots. Not too far behind him, up 8 spots. Steven Bixler, the mayor, up 9 spots now to P8. The mayor, Steven Bixler, where did he come from? He is driving that thing like it's a rocket ship tonight. Going to work on the bottom of... saw Dean Reynolds. Dean Reynolds, if you remember, he had to use a quick repair. Connor Ross got knocked around. Lost it. Came up and looked like Steven Bixler got into the back of him. We're going to have to take a look. That's going to be a tough break for the mayor, Steven Bixler. He was really running good. Let's go back up here. It looks like he's on the bottom of Greg Parmalee. Coming out of turn 4 there. Going into 1 and 2, he's going to get in the tires all by himself, lost it. And, you know, he's got to try to keep it going there. If he keeps it going, he doesn't lose any spots. He just stayed in it. And it's tough if you're Steven Bixler. I don't really know too much what you can do different there. If you're Steven, maybe we're going to have to go. Let's go in the cockpit view. See how early. See, he sees Connor. So here you've got to kind of maybe get out of the gas if you think a caution's coming, and not too much Connor can do there. He really held the line pretty well, spin it in a 360 there, and then you just see it's inside of that car for a little bit. Mayhem ensues, but tough break. Still got some time to get it done here as we're going to go through turns 1 and 2 here. Looked like the pace lights were off on the pace truck. Yes, they are. Should be going green this time by for Ross Corinna as we're almost halfway here through tonight's Rebel feature. Getting ready to drop the hammer. Ross Corinna, hammer down, coming out of 4. Good restart for Brandon Dittmer. All over the leader. Not the best restart for Greg Parmalee, Trent Verstraeten there. He was going to lose a couple spots. Contact with Greg Parmalee. Greg Parmalee goes around front of the field, collects Dean Reynolds. Are we going to get a caution? They're still wrecking. No caution. Oh, my gosh. Get the flag out. Get the flag out. Oh, man, he heard me pleading. I hope nobody went a lap down from that. We've got a lot to go back there and look at. That happened so fast. Really tough break that the caution didn't come out earlier. We're going to go back and try to see if we can maybe find where this started. Let's see Steven Stewart here. Oh, no, so it started with Parmalee, just gets him to Dean Reynolds. Dean Reynolds then gets turned around. Connor Ross runs into Dean Reynolds. It's just a show from there. Can't believe we didn't get a caution out that quick. That is a tough break, and that's definitely going to hurt some people's races there, as I noticed a lot of those people involved in that had been in accidents earlier in the night. Connor Ross especially one of them. Looks like the front wheels do look straight enough, though, for him to continue. He took a pretty big hit. But right now, out front the whole time, took the lead over on lap number 1, I believe, Ross Corinna. I mean, he's been the story this year. If he shows up, that's the guy who ends up getting the feature money. He's been very quick, very consistent, and he's shown you how he does it. Gets it done on that high side when he needs to. He's willing to get it done on the bottom if he has to. Right now, he's forced to get it done on the high side as Brandon Dittmer. That's pretty much where he's committed. It's where he's been trying to make up time. When your leader, Ross Corinna, we're coming through 3 and 4. Ready to fire whenever Ross puts the hammer down, and he's ready to go. Great restart from your leader. Going to get him by about 3 car lengths. Much better restart for 3rd place this time. Bryce Odell going to be about the same distance to Dittmer as he is to Corinna, but as we go further back, the gaps get closer and closer as Trent Verstraeten thinking about going down to the bottom, trying to get that last step of the podium here.
The yellow flag is out.
Another caution here. Let's see what we can find. Looks like we lost our man, Connor Ross, and my software is telling me jump to the pits, and he already used a quick repair, so we'll take a look at this replay. Just going to get in the wall here. Turns 1 and 2, going to climb the fence. You see it. Tough break, rolls it over, and we're going to go ahead and unmute Connor here. I think that's going to be his night. Tough break, Connor.
Yeah, I got to say sorry to Steven Bixler. That was dumb on my part to try and do a 360 there. I thought I was far enough on the bottom where I could maybe merge back onto the backstretch, but I didn't realize that I was still in the track. So sorry to him, but no, just wasn't our night.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely not one of your best moves, but when you go back and actually look at that, I don't think you want to beat yourself up too hard. put you on replay there. It seemed like you, even when you spun around, you did a pretty good job of holding your line. And when we went on board with Bixler, he saw you kind of get into that scrum and kind of knew what he was in for when he was going in there. I think he's just trying to battle for that spot, hoping that a caution wouldn't come out, you know. But with you sitting there, sometimes you got to check up, and that's going to happen. So no harm, no foul. You guys both go back out, get them next week.
Green.
Exactly.
Green flag is out, though. Ross Carino with another good restart here. We're a little over halfway. He just needs this thing to stay green so he can get in his rhythm and get another victory in the bag.
Ross, when he races, he is a very, very, very talented driver. He keeps it very smooth. But Dittmer's catching him in 1 and 2 there. And Ross is throwing that slider in 3 and 4. And Dittmer's got to change up his line in 3 and 4 if he wants to catch Ross.
And speaking of catching, guys, Trent Verstraeten up 12 spots up to P4 right now. And right in front of him, Bryce Odell up 9 spots. So they are coming hard for these front two. That's the last thing they want to see is another caution as they build up a little gap here with 11 to go.
Trent's going to need a caution, I think. If he clears Odell here, he's definitely going to need a caution to get back up because those two front runners are pulling away, and they are one's racing to keep a bounty up and one's trying to take some money.
Yeah, Brandon Dittmer, man, he is just smooth and consistent right now. It seems like he gets that right rear tire in the wall every now and then, but it hasn't been enough to really make him pay for it as he's able to slowly reel in your leader just a little faster last time by.
The worst part is when he catches him, he's fast in 1 and 2, so he'd have to throw a slider in 3 and 4, but that's the line that Ross is using, so he's going to have to switch it up and get a good run off of 3 and 4 and slide him in 1 and 2. But he gets in the wall there, and that's going to hurt him.
Yeah, he enters sometimes a little too high in 3 and 4. We've been watching him and just been making that right rear pay on entry. That seems to be his mistake. And, you know, you brought up exactly what I brought up when we were talking about the 358s. When this track gets beat up, it seems like the slider line is what you want to do in 3 and 4. So it really takes out an option of getting a pass. And I mean, if Brandon wants to make it work, he's got to drive in real hard in 3 and 4 like he did again there, but got in the wall again. Because, like you said, he just needs to carry out momentum to throw a slider in 1 and 2. But, Connor, I think he's used up all the stuff here, kid.
He got into the wall again, and he's going to be under attack by Trent Verstraeten here.
Yeah, Trent's looking to go to work here with 4 laps to go here at Cedar Lake. Is he going to have enough time to get P2? Now he's in the wall. That's going to let Brandon Dittmer gap a little bit. Let's go back through the pack here. Talon Ulibarri's P7. He's in a good battle right now, trying to get Kevin Fry here. We're coming on 3 to go. But out front. Oh, wait, go ahead, Connor.
I was going to say, I think Trent got on the wall there again, but the top 3 have a pretty good distance in between each other. I think Dittmer used up his right rear a little bit trying to drive the wheels off the thing. But Odell's catching Trent a little bit here for 3rd, but I don't think he's got enough time.
Yeah, we're on the white flag lap right now. Ross just took the white flag, so he's got minimal time to do it. If he wants to do it, he's got to go now. But Ross, the
contact. Kevin Fry and Talon Ulibarri.
Oh, but we're watching Ross Carino across the start-finish line. He is going to make it 7 for 7 this season for him as he missed the race. Brandon Dittmer is going to come home P2. Trent Verstraeten, your hard charger, going to bring it home in P3, able to survive. J.J. Odell P4, Bryce Odell P5, Gary off at 6, Talon Ulibarri 7th, Steven Stewart 8th, Dean Reynolds 9th, and your final position in the top 10 is going to be Kevin Fry. We're going to round out the field with Roger Craig, Stephen Bixler, Connor Ross, Jacob Brown, Greg Parmley, Brian Dickens, and Tyler Flynn. Well, it got exciting on that last lap, Connor.
It definitely did. There was some contact there between Ulibarri and Kevin Fry, and that was the transfer spot to be in the Renegades race as long as your IL is under, I think it's 0.250. That's when it was when I raced, but no, it was a good battle there, and Ross showed us there why he's been dominant all year. He is smooth in these slick surfaces, and he doesn't make many mistakes.
No, you're exactly right. Able to just get it done again, night after night, and just an impressive showing from him here. We're going to wait to see if Trent there's Trent. We're going to go ahead and pull Trent Verstraeten up to the booth here. Hey, man. Shaggy, you got a copy, Trent?
Yes, I do.
Well, hey, I didn't jinx you, you know. You're able to come talk to me again. You going to try to run this A series after this? Make it 3 for 3?
I'm not too sure. Probably not. Probably going to stick away from that one.
Yeah, sometimes it's better to know where you should be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'd rather end on a good note.
But Trent, man, you were real fast tonight. It seemed like you maybe had something for Dittmer, but then you got in the wall. Did you damage the car there at the end and just try to hang on to it?
Yeah, I got on the wall there twice actually. Once I finally started to catch up to him, he was getting in the wall too, so that's the only reason I did catch him. But the second time I got in the wall, yeah, I definitely messed up the back, the rear right tire, and JJ was reeling me in quick. I was worried there for a bit.
Yeah, he, I didn't want to bring up bad memories there, but he definitely was reeling you in at the end. But, man, you had just enough to hang on to that third and final podium position. So congratulations on 2 great runs tonight, man. You got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, just my teammate at Venom Racing, Dean at Super Dirt Car Series, you guys for broadcasting, and Roger and everyone behind the scenes at C2C for the league.
Well, congratulations, Trent, and hopefully I get to talk to you again next week, my man.
Thank you.
That's Trent Verstraeten, your P3 finisher tonight. We're going to go ahead and bring up the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer, and let Connor Ross get a word with him.
Congrats on your run, Brandon. Connor up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah. Tough track tonight. Talk about the track here. Seemed like to start off the race there were 2 grooves, bottom and the top, but then as the race went on, that slider line 3 and 4 and the top side of 1 and 2. What could you have done better just to get Ross into a spot where you could have made him make a mistake or something?
Not put it into the wall with 5 to go. Not drop back a second and a half. That's disappointing.
You were definitely fast all night. Did you just? It started to look like at the end of that race, watching you just used up that right rear just a little bit, but you had to go. You were on him, and you were in a tough spot. You couldn't just back off there and kind of wait for the last few laps. He was fast, so you had to keep on him. But I kind of wanted to see you win it. I'm not gonna lie. I was pulling for you there, but is there anything you could have done differently throughout that feature there?
No, not overly. Not without ultimately screwing up a shot at the victory, and even worse, wrecking Ross and ruining his night. So I just had to kind of play it safe, kind of just try and wait for a spot for him to mess up, but he wasn't going to. He's so dang fast and smooth. It's impossible to get a beat on him.
Yeah, you're right there. You hit the nail on the head with that one. Well, congrats on your second place finish. Anybody you got to thank?
You guys for the broadcast, Roger for Coast to Coast, Training Wheels Racing, all those guys over there. Speed Factory for the setup, very quick tonight. Think that's all.
Well, congrats on your second place victory. You gonna run in the second place finish? Sorry about that, not victory. You gonna run in Renegades race here?
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
Well, maybe my mistake there with victory will come true in this Renegades race. Good luck in that one.
Thank you.
That's your second place finisher, Brandon Dittmer.
Yeah, and he's had a good season, Connor. He kind of reminds me of almost Brad Swedish. Brad finally got that first win of the season there a couple weeks ago, but man, he's been consistently in the top 5 every night and just been showing speed, but just can't get that win done. But I'll tell you who can seal the deal. Done it 7 times now. 7 for 7, I believe, Ross. Thanks for helping me keep that money in my pocket.
Yeah. I'm not sure what happened to Dittmer there at the end. I could hear him pretty much the whole race, and was watching a relative, and then all of a sudden he fell off. I'm assuming he just tapped the wall a little bit in 3 and 4 there, or 1 and 2, whatever. But to be honest with you, that's kind of why I was running the line. You got to enter so high here to make it work in 3 and 4, and it just gets a little scary. So I figured if I could keep that slider line and then slide up to that tacky stuff, it'd work best. And luckily, I was able to stay clean, and it worked out.
No, you had the 100% perfect game plan tonight. Connor actually brought that up a little bit. Brandon, it seemed like he was making up a little bit of time on you in 1 and 2, but since you were making him go that far away around in 3 and 4,
Right.
and he just couldn't make anything up, and
Lost in
he
this
had gotten the wall about 3 or 4 times on that high side entry to 3 and 4, and that's what you said, man. It's so dangerous up there if you want to be fast, and it's real easy to pay for it, and you made him pay for it, Ross. But like I said, man, able to make me or help me keep my bounty money tonight. I guess that should go up to $50 next week. You're gonna have to work out a deal with somebody to scrap a win here, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully, I can keep showing up. Last week, I sucks. I had to play real life and had to put some sugar beets in the ground. But luckily, we got some rain this weekend, so I was able to shut the planter down for a little bit and keep the virtual sprint car going. But yeah, hopefully I can keep making races and actually hurt your pocketbook a little more.
Yeah, there we go, man. And it's only a matter of time. We'll get you through this season, and you'll be up there running regular Renegades races, winning no time.
Yeah, hopefully.
But
well, I'm going to jump in here and say, hopefully I take your money and Marty's money here soon, because I want to beat Ross. It's been a while.
Yeah, you got to stay a little clean.
Whoa.
There we go. Let him have it. Let him have it.
We just got to stop making mistakes. No, congrats on your run.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, you got anybody you want to thank on your win here tonight, Ross?
Yeah, just as always, Phantom Motorsports guys, Vanderbilt guys, M9 Performance, Velocity Race Design, Power Outdoors, Weichel Sportswear, Joey Linger on photography. Obviously, you guys up in the booth putting on the show, and everybody behind the scenes making this thing work at Coast to Coast.
Well, congratulations, Ross, raising the bounty, man. Hopefully, we get to you get to get them all them beats in the ground, and we get you back next week to raise that bounty a little bit more, man. What do you say?
Yep, sounds good to me.
All right, that's Ross Corinna, your winner here tonight in the Rebels B division. We will be right back here. We're going to take a quick intermission commercial break, and we will be right back here with Ashweekend Speedway's Monday Night Madness here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Don't go anywhere.
If you are looking for some action on Sunday nights, then look no further than the hills overlooking the beautiful Mohawk Valley and the track that calls them home. The Glenridge Motorsports Park has that action you are looking for. From Dirt Car 358 Modified, Sportsman, and Pro Stocks, to the Rush Late Models and more, the Ridge has it all. So come on out to the Ridge each and every Sunday night from May 5th through September the 8th. When you get there, make sure you grab yourself some of the best food around. Sign the little ones up for the kids club and grab your favorite seat, and then hold on tight, because the dirt car action will leave you craving more in 2024. The Glenridge Motorsports Park, your home for dirt car Sunday nights.
it's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Gets on the champion. Trying to be a bit of a hiatus, so let's get.
Tonight we'll be talking about it.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
We are back live here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network here for Renegades action at Cedarlake Speedway. Be bringing you 35 laps here. Let me talk a little bit about the points here coming into last weekend Speedway Monday Night Madness Renegades here. Right now we have Blake Chapman, pretty good points lead. He's got 530 points. Next closest guy is going to be the high side banger Patrick Spangler with 491, and back to P3, even bigger gap. John Short is 100 points out of P2 with 391. So the story is definitely Patrick Spangler and Blake Chapman. Patrick's going to be hoping Blake maybe has a mistake here tonight in qualifying, can get some points back, but rolling into qualifying here. Let's see who we got on the track. Let's try and find somebody. We got Brandon Templeton rolling out on the track here. Let's take a look at him. Turn 4, going to run as high as he can. That last time, now he's going to go to the bottom in 1 and 2. A lot of tack still left down there. Going to try the bottom slider line there, 3 and 4, floated up, but maybe would have liked to float up a little bit more. Kind of floated up into that slick. Now on lap number 2, he's going to try the high side, but right now he is currently P1, so we'll stay with him for this second lap here. Let's see if he can improve. He's out front right now with a 12.86. Second time by is going to be same lap, 12.86.
Jesse Bandy to the top of the charts with it.
Yeah, Jesse Bandy.
12.857.
There we go.
Keith Jackson now to the top of the board with a 12.652.
Yeah, they're just going to keep rolling in here. Keith, that was his final lap, too. Let's find somebody. Brandon Dittmer going to move up. Blake Chapman on his first lap's going to roll P2. Let's see what he can do on lap number 2. Really floated up there. That's the slider line you want to see straight. Put it up against the wall. Is he faster second time around? No. 12.87. He's going to have to stick with that 12.84, but I think he's going to be happy with P2. John Short, final lap, going to come on P11. Ross Carina, second time around. Saw him. He won the B Series. He just brought it home P6. Bob did good. Look at that, P5. Good lap for Bob.
Especially on it's not too slick of a track, but it's slick enough where Bob has definitely made a lot of improvements, and it's really good to see.
Yeah, so we've got Keith Jackson, Blake Chapman, Jesse Bandy, Brandon Templeton, and Bob DeGood, your top 5. So we're going to roll off here for heat race number 1. Everybody should make the show here tonight. So let's go ahead and give your starting grid here. Brandon Dittmer in the 83 is going to roll off on P1. Heat 1 to his outside. Jack Hitt in the 217. Brandon Templeton's going to roll off P3 to his outside. Keith Jackson in the 113. J.J. Odell is going to roll off on the inside of row number 3 to his outside. Jeff Barker in the 513. And rounding out the field tonight is going to be Gary Taylor in the 34.
Man, I'm surprised to see Stephen Goldner with not the greatest qualifying effort out of the Coast to Coast Hall of Famer. That is in Stephen Goldner. So we'll see if he can do better tonight, because I know he's got a lot more left in him than that.
Yeah, I think that was definitely one of those qualifying sessions where the track's kind of an awkward spot. I don't think you really know what's fast until you're around other guys and, you know, getting to watch everybody's car angle, being the broadcaster. I get to cheat. I get to see what was working. I got to see a lot of different guys were trying different things, and you could see it just seemed like guys who were floating it up in 3 and 4 had much more success than the guys trying to pin it to the bottoms. Look for Brandon Dittmer to try to maybe get up in front of Jack Hick as quick as he can here, Connor.
Yeah, it's going to be a great heat race.
Through turns 3 and 4 for the final time here as we get ready to roll off. Brandon Dittmer, heat race number 1 for the Renegade Sprint Car Division here on Osh Weekend Monday Night Madness here. Brandon Dittmer with a good jump, and Brandon Templeton is going to thank him for that good jump as he's going to follow him going from 3rd to 2nd there on lap number 1.
If you're watching that last race, Dittmer knows what he needs to do differently this race. Just be more cautious on that high side. It's already super slick on entry, and he tags the wall there.
You heard the disappointment in his voice. Yeah, whenever he gave us the interview, he felt like maybe he could have had something if he didn't get in the wall. And tough break, he got in the wall again. But Keith Jackson,
first.
Yeah, and then it looked like maybe he was going to throw that right rear up. Brandon Templeton got a little scared, overdrove it, got in the wall, but he's going to hang on to P2 for now. But Jack Hitt, man, he says, no way I'm taking that from you, Brandon.
Jack Hitt is running directly in the middle of the racetrack, both ends. And 1 and 2, there's tack there, but 3 and 4, he's either got to go just a bit lower or just stick to the high side because there's not tack until the exit of 4. There's contact between Dittmer and Templeton, I think.
Yeah. Brandon Templeton's going to lose it. It looked like he got a little sideways, got down into Brandon Dittmer, but Dittmer's able to carry on. Not the same for Templeton as he's going to pull it off, but 2 to go this time by for Keith Jackson.
As Dittmer's going to go to the bottom side for P2 here, and they're going to drag race down the front stretch.
Yeah, you know, I think they all saw who was that making the middle work? Jack Hill and Jack Hitt in the 1 and 2, and I think now Dittmer's making it work here as we're on the white flag. Final time through 3 and 4. Keith Jackson's easily going to have it locked up, but Brandon Dittmer's going to throw the slider. Can Jack Hitt cross him over at the line? No. Brandon Dittmer's going to hold on to P2. Jack Hitt P3, and Jeff Barker's going to bring it home P4. Gary Taylor, J.J. Odell, Brandon Templeton round out the field. What a battle for P2 there at the line. Let's go ahead and give you your starting grid here for heat race number 2. We've got Shorty, John Short on the pole in the number 51 to his outside. Randy Shreves in the 56. Inside of row number 3, we've got the number 7, Bob DeGood. On his outside, we've got the salesman, the number 20, Blake Chapman. Starting on the inside of row number 3, we've got Devo Donovan Ross. To his outside, the 62 of Bryce Odell. And rounding out the field tonight is going to be the 36 of Barry Golden.
So I did get information from qualifying that Steven Goldner did mess up his qualifying lap and he hit the tires, and he screwed up both laps there because I know Steven Goldner is a lot faster than that, and you know, sometimes that's racing. Just crappy luck happens, but luckily he's in heat 3. He must be, because there's heat 3 heat races tonight. But we have a stacked heat tonight between the front row between John Short and Randy Shreves here, and then you got Chapman in 4th, and then Bob DeGood 3rd.
Yeah, it is, and your points leader, you know, he knows how important the starting spot is here, so he's going to have to try to go from 4th to 1st as quick as he can. But like you said, tough heat, and John Short and Randy Shreves are not going to make it easy on him. But final time here through turns 3 and 4 is the pace car is going to take off, and the green flag is going to come out. Time to play in the clay here at Cedarlake Speedway. Ugh.
There we go.
Twisters tonight, Connor.
You got it. Blake Chapman already in 2nd here as he slides up the track on Randy Shreves, and he's going to go after John Short.
Yeah, like I say, man, he knows you want to get it pounced right away in the beginning. That's when you got to go. Easiest time before cars are up to speed, and now he just gets to go to work on John Short. We'll have to see if he is going to have anything for him, though, as it looks like they're running a pretty similar line in 3 and 4, but Blake's going to go to the high side 1 and 2.
What's going to hurt Blake is here they're both running a slider, so he's going to have to run the top in 3 and 4, and he runs the top in 1 and 2, but John Short does a nice job of coming up to the wall and just blocking off that momentum. He's, as you can see here, he just runs the bottom and kind of blocks that off, so Blake's going to have a tough time passing him here.
Yeah, I think if he's going to do it, this is going to be the move that he has to make. He's going to have to get a big run out of turns 3 and 4 and then try to diamond under Shorty, because it just doesn't look like, in there it looked like he maybe backed out of the throttle before he tried to throw the slide over, and we both know that's not what you want to do there.
Or he's going to just have to beat him in a good old drag race down in 3 and 4 and pull the slider there. But Short's running the top now in 3 and 4, and I think that took Blake Chapman by surprise there, because Short was running the slider line, and right as Chapman could have thrown that slider, Short decided to stay up top, and that caught him by surprise.
Yeah, and I think that's going to pay off for Short, because it looks like there's a lot of tack still on the bottom of 1 and 2, and he's going to carry a lot of speed in there as we're on the white flag. He's got 1 lap to hold off Blake.
Blake's going to look to give him something in 3 and 4. He just comes in with a slider. He slides up to the middle, but it's Short going to be taking heat race number 2.
Yeah, followed by Blake Chapman, Randy Shreves, Bob DeGood, Donovan Ross, Bryce Odell, and Barry Golden. Oh, Donovan Ross. He's going to have to pull up the back out car. Going to hit the tires going to the pits after the race. Wow, ride for him.
EMTs to the pits, please.
Yeah, no kidding. Let's give you the starting grid here for heat race number 3. We've got Kurt Schatzer rolling off on the pole in the 218. Is outside the high side banger. Patrick Spangler in the 39. Inside of row number 3, your Rebels points champion right now, and your winner 7 weeks in a row. Ross Corinna going to roll off third. Is outside in the 49, Jesse Bandy. Steven Goldner is going to roll off P5. And to his outside, we got they call him the Desert Demon, but Terry and I share a similar hobby, so I like to call him Smokey. That's my personal nickname for Terry.
Who do you have your money on for this heat race? Well, I shouldn't say money on, but who's your pick for this heat race?
Oh man, this is really tough. You know, you want to pick Goldner, but that's just so much ground to make up. I don't know. I think I got to go with Patrick Spangler here.
You know what? I'm going to go with Goldner. He's a good friend of mine, but there's some tough competition that he's got to pass.
Yeah, he knows he's got to go out and get the job done because he knows excuses are like you know what, Connor. Everyone's got one and they all stink. So he knows he needs to go out and get the job done.
Green flag, green flag.
Kurt Schatzer right now going to look to get a good start. Maybe not the jump he wanted. Entered a little straight two into 1 and 2. That's going to make him bind up in the middle of the corner. He's going to lose speed. And Patrick Spangler, you see big run. Going to beat him to the line here, lap number 1.
There's a battle for fourth here. It's going to be shaping up because the top 4 are under a blanket, and there's Goldner trying to fight for that final transfer spot.
Yeah, we see Patrick Spangler kind of walking away off front. We're going to stay on this battle for second here as they're almost 3 wide in the middle of 1 and 2. They're going to make room. Looks like Schatzer has to back out.
Everyone was running a completely different line there, and it paid off for Ross Corinna tiptoeing on the bottom side. Yeah, he's still going to go back down there.
You said it. They're all in a different line, but you watch as they funnel out of the corner there. They all want the same line, and that's the thing about this track that gets people into so much trouble, man. They're all fighting for that same room on exit.
The bottom of turn 1 and 2 look very strong, but it's just 3 and 4. You got to be up top or run that slider line. There is nothing on the bottom.
Yeah, look who. Ross Corinna starting to run down that man out front, Patrick Spangler. He got it done in the previous race. He's got all that track time. Is he going to have enough time to go make a look here on Patrick Spangler as we're 2 to go this time by?
If anyone can do it, it sure is the boss, man.
Yeah, he's really running that bottom in 1 and 2, but just doesn't have the exit speed. Going to try to float up behind Patrick Spangler. Here's the white flag is out. I just don't know if he's got enough time.
Time is definitely running out, but he gets a really good exit there, and he's almost side by side for the lead.
Oh, there he goes. And I think he's being a little nice, not running for points. He could have maybe thrown up in there and stole it, but he's going to bring home P2. Patrick Spangler's going to get the job done. Jesse Bandy P3, Kurt Schatzer P4, Steven Goldner P5, and Terry Landis P6. But we're going to take a quick break here before we go to warm-ups, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here at the Coast to Coast Racing Network. back here on the Coast to Coast Network on YouTube with Monday Night Madness presented by Oshweekend Speedway. We're here with the final event of the night, Renegades feature action. We're going to be going 35 laps here, and man, Connor, we're in for a show, I think.
We're definitely in for a show, as there is still some tack all over this track, and it's gonna be a doozy tonight. I'm gonna pull out the vocabulary here and go to a word that I don't even think exists.
I don't know if we all use it, but does it technically exist? That is a great question, and sometimes when Terry and I like to do our hobby, we zone out on questions like that. They can become quite a brain filler. Well, we're going to read you off here the starting grid here for the final feature tonight, going 35 laps here at Cedarlake Speedway. Let's give it to you. Keith Jackson's going to roll off on the pole in the 113. Is outside. John Short in the 51. The high side banger Patrick Spangler is going to roll off P3 into his outside. We've got the 83 Spider Monkey Brandon Dittmer. Got the salesman rolling off P5. The 20 of Blake Chapman is outside. Ross, the boss Corinna in P6. Jack Hitt's going to roll off P7 and is outside. Randy Shreves in the 56. Jesse Bandy's going to roll off P9 into his outside. We have the 513 of Jeffrey Barker. Rolling off in P11, we have Bob DeGood into his outside. Kurt Schatzer. P13, Gary Taylor and Donovan Ross on his outside, rolling 14th. Stephen Golden, they're going to roll off 15th. And J.J. Odell on the outside of row 8, going P16. Bryce Odell is going to roll off P17 into his outside. Smokey, Terry Landis rolling off 18th. B-Temp, Brandon Templeton going to roll off 19th into his outside. Barry Goldner going to roll off P20. And not making the grid here is... Actually, Brandon Templeton didn't make the grid from what I'm seeing, so tough break for him. Maybe he'll make the call later, or maybe he's just going to skip the show. But real quick, who you got tonight, Connor?
Brandon Dittmer. You?
I'm going to go with, like I say, my long-lost relative who took all the talent from me, Blake Chapman. Let's go as the green flag is out here at Cedar Lake. 35 laps. Who you got? Let us know in the chat. Keith Jackson, though, with a great start, able to take the high side right away from John Short. And, Connor, I think that's kind of where you want to be.
Yeah, it definitely is. I just don't think there's enough. It's too sketchy to be on the bottom of 1 and 2. There's not much tack there, and you're playing with fire with those infield tractor tires.
Yeah, you're playing with fire on that outside wall, though. As we saw Brandon Dittmer already in the outside wall in turns 3 and 4 on lap number 2. He's got a long way to go, and we're seeing how thin that entry is up there, as they're 3 wide for P4 in the middle of 1 and 2.
It's definitely a hornet's nest back there as Patrick Spangler goes down to the bottom to work on P2, I think that is.
Yeah, Patrick's trying to go to work there, but you see we're in the aerial cam. Look at him fanning out. 3 wide in the middle of 1 and 2. Who does it better than Coast to Coast?
No one.
No kidding, man. Blake Chapman, though, he's staying committed to that bottom. Same with Patrick Spangler. And you got to wonder if that's maybe just where experience is coming into play. They know it's early, maybe banking on a caution or two, and they just want to save some right rear tire.
You're definitely going to want to save some here. It is getting slick, and you're going to want some for the last 5-10 laps. Maybe we'll get a caution at the end, and it's go time then. But for right now, you got to not ride. You just got to be smart with your passes.
No, and not only smart with your passes, you got to be smart just where you're putting the car. We see Stephen Goldner, one of the better drivers we have, started P15, only up 4 spots so far. You'd kind of expect a little more from Goldner, but that just shows how hard it is to pass right now.
Definitely is hard to pass, as I just watched Ross Corinna throw a slider on Brandon Dittmer to take P3, as he is just running the middle, but he's diamonding off, and he gets a really good exit there with that diamond line.
Yeah, and Brandon Dittmer getting that right rear in the wall again. He is just not having much luck on the entry of turns 3 and 4. That's really hurting him tonight, as Patrick Spangler is going to think about throwing the slider, but no room. Brandon gets a big run out of 2.
This is definitely an odd track is 1 and 2, the top line is always fast, but it's worn in a little weird here. You got some on the bottom, you got some in the middle, and up top there's not much, but 3 and 4 definitely is the slider line is the fastest line so far.
Jesse Bandy kind of holding steady there. P9 not able to go up, not able to lose any spots. He is fighting as hard as he can to get by the 217 of Jack Hitt, but he is just not having any luck on the bottom back here.
Oh, this has been not a weird race, but I was expecting to see Goldner, Bandy, and even Blake Chapman to move up a few more spots, and they just either they're saving, but they just haven't really gone anywhere.
Yeah, and you know, we're seeing no caution so far. Definitely don't want the commentator's curse, but run 13 green flag laps here, and you got to think if those guys want to even think about getting up front, man, they're going to need a
contact 3 and 4.
There it is. There it is, right on cue. The commentator talks about it, and it comes out. I am sorry to whoever I jinxed, but that's what we need to get a little action.
I think it was Gentleman Jack Hitt.
Well,
I think him and Jesse Bandy had some contact in turn 3 and 4, and it wasn't on purpose, obviously just racing hard, but there was a little bit of contact, I think.
Yeah, it looked like actually he made contact with Randy Shreves going down the backstretch, woed up a little bit on the entry, and before he knew it, he was in Jesse Bandy's lap. I don't think, like you said, that was intentional. I just don't think Bandy really could react that quick without getting in the brakes. And you know what getting in the brakes and these things do, it can spin you around real fast, and that's not what he wanted to do to himself there.
No, 100%. And after racing with Jesse Bandy for a while, he's definitely not the type of guy to do something intentional. And these cars, the brakes don't, like, they work, but it's not like an asphalt car where you hit the brakes and you're instantly slowing down. These take some muster to really slow down in time.
Yeah, and I see the lights are off on the pace truck. Looks like Keith Jackson, the man with the plan, he is going to take the high side here, going to force John short on the bottom. And, you know, that's going to be tough, too. Patrick Spengler stuck on the bottom, and now on his outside, he's got Blake Chapman. And you remember, that's a battle for the points lead here as the green flag is out.
Wow,
bad jump for John Short.
Yeah, it's the inside line. You just have nowhere to restart from. The top, there's some tack up there, but when you're the leader, that's the nice part about getting to choose what line you want to restart from. Now see if Dimmer can charge an attack here.
That sent Blake Chapman from P6 on that restart to P3 just in turns 1 and 2, able to really accelerate around that high side. And you know who that really hurt? Patrick Spengler. He's trying to fight back here on the bottom, but man, he's in that battle with that car, 2 cars ahead of him, and he's like, oh, I was ahead of him that whole green flag run. I get screwed on this restart. Man, there's emotions going through your head. It's tough to be smooth.
100%. I'm not sure if Keith Jackson used everything up or he's just taking it easy, but Dittmer has caught him, and so has Blake Chapman.
Yeah, now Brandon, he's his own worst enemy here as he gets that right rear tire real close on the entry of 3 and 4. The caution is out, but you maybe got to think, Brandon, did he learn his lesson last time? Is he going to try a different line in 3 and 4?
I don't think so. As a driver who's done that myself, you learn, but then you also, that's the fast way around. You kind of have to. It's definitely, it doesn't forgive you most of the times, but you definitely have to keep it up there if you want to be fast. And it looks like
we're looking at Randy Shreves right now. It looked like maybe he was the start of that accident. Looked like, yeah, he got into the back of Bob DeGood, got a little sideways. Kurt Schatzer got in the back of him, and there's just nowhere either one of them could go. Racing at its finest here at Cedar Lake, man. Stuff happens so fast.
Yeah, and especially when you're nose to tail with someone, and things come up in a hurry, and sometimes you think you've reacted quick enough, but just got to be a little quicker. But that Shreve should have been back out there. I think he went and got a fast repair. Looks like Schatzer has unfortunately exited tonight's event, but I'm wondering how this restart's going to be here, because now Patrick Spangler's back on the high side in the 3rd row. So we'll see if Dittmer can get a better start than this. Who was it? John Short did. I think it was Shorty.
Yeah, and you see Shorty, that restart, man, that moved him back to P7 here as the green flag's out. That really cost him time. Brandon with a much better restart this time on the bottom. Not really going to be able to battle with Ross for that P2 spot. Not going to get hurt as bad, but I'll tell you, Patrick Spangler, he loves that high side. He got to do what Blake Chapman did. 6th to 3rd in one lap.
Dittmer just got loose off of 2 there, and it costed him some spots. When you restart on the Ross Corina looking for a slider for the lead.
He is. We got a slide job for the lead. But Keith Jackson trying to counter back on the bottom. Is he going to have a slider of his own here in 1 and 2? No, he's going to keep it on the bottom, and I think that's going to be a mistake, Connor.
That definitely hurt him as Patrick Spangler gets by him for second now.
Yeah, now Patrick Spangler, he gets to go to work on the boss out front. And Patrick Spangler knows he's got Blake Chapman behind him. It's so hard to make up points on the salesman. He's got to do it while he can as he's thinking about throwing it in.
This is what he's got it there, but Ross battles back on the top. So this is exactly what Chapman wants to see in front of him. Those 2 guys racing hard, so if he keeps it smooth, he'll be up there in no time. As I say that, he closes on Patrick Spangler.
Yeah, now we have a battle for P2 all of a sudden. You saw the run he got into turn 3 and 4 while Patrick tried to slide up. But caution is out. Jack hit it, looks like. And we're going to try to get you a better view of this here. Keep your eye out on Jack hitting that 217 machine, that black and white car. You see him on the high side right now. He's behind Bob the Good. Going to go in the middle 3 wide. Bob maybe comes down off the wall a little bit right as Gary Taylor comes up. And, man, Jack was just a meat in the sandwich there.
I think Ross definitely wanted to see that caution about 3 to 4 laps sooner where he could have had another double file restart. But now that they're single file, it's going to help him, but at least nobody's on the bottom to. This is gonna help Spangler here the most out of everyone, I think, because when that caution comes out, they're gonna be single file restart, so he doesn't have to restart in the middle there where there's no tack.
Yeah, we aren't within 10 to go, but you're right. With that being the 3rd caution, we are going to go single file here, and you said it. That's Patrick Spangler's best friend. We've seen everybody on the bottom get killed on these restarts.
I'm sorry, I thought we were going 30 laps. I thought this is the B division. I forgot A went 35, but nonetheless, we're coming back to green here.
Yes, Ross Corina, great job with the restarts in the B, and Patrick Spangler right on him. Yeah, Patrick Spangler right there with him, so he's going to be breathing down his back here. And Ross is going to do what he did against Dittmer. He's going to go at that defense line, and we saw Spangler get in the wall there. Does that throw people off a little, Connor, when they see that leader go to protect?
It does, but it also, a lot of people drive off the car in front of them. When the car in front of you gets in the wall, sometimes you get in the wall because you're driving off them. So when someone goes to run a slider like that and you're not expecting it, it sometimes does. I'm not sure if that was the case or not, but it definitely throws you off.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was hinting at. You're thinking the guy in front of you is going to do one thing as the caution is out. But yeah, you're thinking the guy in front of you is going to do one thing, and all of a sudden does something different. And as a driver, that can really, maybe it shouldn't mess us up, but it does, because like you say, sometimes we become very committed on that guy in front of us. Watch that guy a little too much instead of our own line. But I'm thinking Gary Taylor was involved in this accident here. Let's go back and take a look. Coming out, turn 2, or there on the front stretch, yeah, it looked like one of the Odells got into Terry Landis. Terry Landis came down a little bit, and, well, Gary Taylor went for a ride there, lost the top wing. Lucky for him, he's going to get a caution here. Hopefully he can go in the pits, repair that thing, and come back out a new man. But Patrick Spangler, I don't know if he wanted that restart, Connor. He was all over Ross.
He definitely didn't, but I think Ross was opening up the gap a little, so nonetheless, we'll see what he can do because he's had the best restart out of anyone who's restarted in second place here.
Yeah, and he's seeming very committed to that high side. But, Connor, when you're the leader, do you ever think about maybe going to the bottom here, firing on that little piece of tack as soon as you get into it and leave everybody else in the slick?
I've done it myself because I kind of just like changing my restarts a lot, but it definitely hurts like the 4th on back.
Well, he's going to stay up top, firing that tack up there. Going to get a good jump this time on Patrick Spangler. Going to be about 2 or 3 car lengths going into 1 and 2. Patrick's going to need to take a lap or 2 to go hunt him down.
Patrick's faster in turns 1 and 2, but Ross with that slide job, you got to be very finesse up in 3 and 4 to run the top all throughout all throughout the turns there. Unlike Ross, where he throws that slider, he can slide up to the tack.
You know, I haven't talked about Stephen Goldner in a while, but man, he's up 7 spots now, Connor. He's up to P8 here.
Definitely, if we just need a few more cautions and don't count them out, but these top 3 have pulled away here as Patrick Spangler might look for the slider, and here he goes for the slide.
He is. He's going to think about it here in 1 and 2, and he's going to float up. Nowhere for Ross to really go.
Look at Chapman. Contact.
And Ross is going to try to think about it here, but no, just not going to get a run off. And Patrick Spangler, that might have been. Ross is going to get the wall right in front of Blake Chapman, but did a good job of keeping it up in the wall. Going to let those front 2 try to race it out. Is he still slow? Maybe that thing's got some damage.
I think he's definitely broken something, and there's a caution.
Oh, caution came out. Now, did that come in enough time for Ross Corinna to get some of those spots back?
I'm not sure. His front end looks somewhat okay, but that car just didn't look like it was handling right after that. But that was going to be an incredible race between those 3.
Let's take a look at this wreck here. It looks like Brandon Dittmer, maybe him and Jeff Barker just make a little wheel-to-wheel contact. Looked like Barker came up just as Dittmer was coming down, and Dittmer's going to get in the wall there in front of Stephen Goldner, and he's just going to go for a ride. John Short's going to come and get involved in it. We'll have our, I believe, 4th caution of the night here.
Kudos to those top 3 runners there, because that could have been a massive pileup. Ross got on the binders there on Spangler's slide job, and then Blake Chapman didn't do anything wrong there. He just got out of line, because I think he was going to throw a 2-for-1 slider, but right as Ross got on the brakes, Ross obviously didn't know Chapman was looking under him, so there was some contact there, and then when Ross got on the wall in 1 and 2, he kept himself up in that wall and kept out of everyone else's way.
Your results page, Connor, I can't bring it up because I'm doing the broadcast, but can you see, since you joined the session as a racer, if they got incident points out of that, Blake or Patrick?
Yeah, let me check.
Because that'll be another one. If Blake,
I cannot see.
Okay, I was going to say if Blake got incident points there from running in the back of Ross, that's going to be big. He's going to really hope that he didn't. But here the pace car should be taking off here, and we've got the front 2 in points running 1-2 here with 3 to go. Let's see if we get a fireworks show here at Cedarlake Speedway.
Spangler got a really good restart there, and he's opened up the gap a little bit, but Chapman closes in 3 and 4.
Yeah, he does, and it looked like Patrick maybe got in the wall there a little bit in 1 and 2 with that right rear. Not enough to slow him down, though, here as we're coming through. Or excuse me, that was 3 and 4. We're coming through 1 and 2 here, 3 and 4 to take the white flag.
The Spangler just needs to keep it really finesse up here and keep it clean, and he looks like he might have it, but like I said, this track is very treacherous.
The high side banger looks to have it locked up. Blake's going to go to the bottom. He's not going to be able to get it done. Patrick Spangler going to come home P1, Blake Chapman P2, followed by Ross Corinna, Jesse Bandy, Keith Jackson, Stephen Goldner, your hard charger, up 9 spots to P6. Jeff Barker, P7. Donovan Ross, Bryce Odell, and Terry Landis rounding out your top 10. The rest of the field's going to go as follows. Bob DeGood, P11. Barry Goldner, P12. Shreves, 13th. J.J. Odell, 14th. Brandon Dittmer, P15. Followed by Gary Taylor, John Short, Jack Hitt, Kurt Schatzer, and Brandon Templeton. Well, you're looking at the top 3 there, folks. Another big run from Ross Corinna, able to finish on the podium. No surprise, those top 2. That's kind of what we expect when they grid up every night. 2 of the best iRacing has, and they showed you exactly why.
Chapman made me bite my tongue there when I said he wasn't going forward as much as I thought he would, and he finished his second here tonight.
Yeah, let's see if we can bring up Ross Corinna. Ross, man, heck of a job. Looked like you maybe had that thing going till just looked like you tried to cross over Patrick with no avail on that slider, got in the back of him, and then it just kind of went away from you.
Yeah, I was just talking to him. He said he just kind of hung it out in the middle. I expected him to go all the way up, so I was kind of prepared for the cut down, and Obviously, in that situation, I guessed wrong. And I feel bad. I think Chapman got into my left rear. Hopefully, it didn't do anything to him to affect his race there. But no, it's a good run. Car felt good. Like I said, I kind of figured it was coming. I was running that. I probably should have switched from the slider line in 3 and 4 and just ran the top so I could keep my momentum. But like I said in the Rebels race, you have to enter so high. I feel like here, and then if you don't, you can slide up and hit turn 4 wall if you don't hit it right. So I was sticking with the slider. Probably not the right decision to make at that point. And obviously, as you can see, it didn't work out for me. But still can't take anything. I mean, it's still not bad finishing on a podium in this Renegades race. So I guess I'll take it.
No, for sure. And, not that, you can blame cautions or anything like that, but before that last caution, man, you had kind of checked out away from Patrick a little bit. When you went back to throwing that slider line in 3 and 4, Connor and I talked about it. I think it threw Patrick off and did the same thing Dittmer did. He got in that wall the first time. So without that caution, man, he had so much gap to run down. I don't know if he was going to be able to do it. But heck of a run, Ross. 2 podiums tonight, man. Can't complain. Who you got to thank?
Like same as always, Phantom Motorsports guys, Bandy Belt guys, Velocity Race Design, Power Outdoors, Waggle Sportswear, you guys up in the booth for putting on the show, and then of course everybody behind the scenes making this league work.
Well, congratulations, Ross, and man, make sure you win next week so I can keep that money in my pocket. All right.
Sounds good.
All right, that's Ross Carina coming home P3 tonight. We're going to bring up my long-lost relative here who took all the talent, and we're going to let Connor Ross get a word with him.
Blake is Connor up at the booth. You get a copy?
Yeah, I got you, man.
Talk about that track tonight. From up in the booth, it just looks like it was super slick and a very, very technical track. Just talk us through your night and what you needed to do a bit differently to attack the track, or?
Yeah, definitely not my cup of tea here. Just slick, one lane around the top. I mean, I went from 6th to 3rd on a restart, and I talked to Patrick. He did the same on a restart. So this top side was just really dominant tonight, and I felt really good in 1 and 2. I felt like I was maybe the fastest car out there in 1 and 2, but 3 and 4, I just couldn't figure it out. I tried a couple different lines, and the car just didn't want to stick to the top of that turn 4 and give me a run down the front stretch. So that's definitely where I lost it tonight.
You definitely had a great run. You made me bite my tongue there at the end of the race because we were talking about people not moving up through the field much, and I was talking about you as I think you were in 5th, and I said you haven't really beat any passes tonight or gone back or forward, but no, you finished off the night strong with P2. That'll be great for points. Anybody you got to thank?
Yeah, I got to thank the family for watching and supporting. Got to thank all the guys at the Krite Sim Racing team, Terry and John, racing with me tonight. Got to thank those guys. I got to thank Preston at Epsilon Sprint Wraps, Andy at AJ Custom Creations. Got to thank, of course, Galen's Gourmet Popcorn. They got some of the best popcorn out there. And don't forget to use code CART, that's C-A-R-T, at checkout for 15% off of your purchase. And I got to thank you guys for putting this on.
Well, congrats on your 2nd place finish tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's Blake Chapman, your P2 finisher. We're going to go ahead and bring up the man trying to run him down in points. Going to make up a little bit tonight. Probably not as much as he would have liked there. But, hey, Patrick, you did all you could tonight, man. Congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah, a little frustrating there. Threw away the 7 points there, get into the wall. But it's just hard to pass that track. It all comes down to those double file restarts and where you're starting. With 6th to 3rd on that one restart, the final one. So I hate the double file restarts. We should go back single file. You can lose a lot, but you can gain a lot too. But yeah.
Yeah, or I know it would be hard to do, but with having the admins and they're not really racing anymore, it would be nice if we're going to do double file. Maybe they let you choose where you want to go, because I know this is a track where, man, you needed to be on that high side. Blake said you guys were talking a little bit, and you went 6th to 3rd on that one restart, and Blake did it the previous restart 6th to 3rd. It just seemed like you were in the right spot at the right time. When that 3rd caution came out, you were in P2 when you guys lined up single file, and you were just able to go to work on Ross. And I think the difference was in 3 and 4. Do you agree?
Yeah, I really want to throw. I couldn't throw the slider in 3 and 4 because he's doing a slider line, but I was getting really good runs out of 4. But I was having a little PTSD from last year when I tried sliding somebody in turn 1 and 2 and then sent it into the pits. Uh, Partial reason why I kind of hung out in the middle there like a jerk. I didn't mean to hang out in the middle, but there's just no cushion for it to. They took out the side bite in these tires, and like in the heat race, I threw a slider in 3 and 4, and I almost hit the wall because it never caught on the cushion for just you lose a lot of side bite there, and so I just had to hang in the middle. I got the 2x there, but I think probably gained 3 points on Blake, but it would have been better to get 10.
Yeah, no, you're for sure. And well, Blake, in the same token, I think whenever Ross got in the back of you there, I think Blake got into him. So 2X's all around for the front two. But you guys are doing an amazing job with incidents this year. Not a lot of points, and I know you got to make up any time you can with Blake. So it's nice to steal a win from him here, or not steal a win. You went and earned it, but steal some points back from him. But congratulations, Patrick. You got anybody you want to thank on tonight's win?
Yeah, just you and Connor for doing the broadcasts on these nights, and every other night you guys fill in and are taking over. Roger run the league, Train Wolf Racing, Dudek Sim Designs, and Velocity Race Designs. Brandon running with me tonight, and probably forgetting somebody. Dad and Uncle back home watching, and yeah, if you're going through a hard time at home with family, weather, any other things, just reach out to people. There's people out there to help you, and just wish them all the best of luck there.
Well, you're the man, Patrick, and we're lucky to have you here. We call you the high side banger, and you showed why tonight. Able to rip the wall in 3 and 4 better than anyone else, and you got the job done. So congratulations, my man. Hopefully I talk to you again next Monday.
Yep, hopefully I say 55.
Sounds good. Well, Connor, heck of a show tonight. The guys put on some good racing. We had a battle for the lead there. Tough break for Ross. Thought he was maybe going to go 2 for 2 tonight.
He definitely looks like. I thought Keith Jackson. We haven't really talked much about him tonight, but he was the man to beat early on. It just looked like that car went away after one of the first few cautions. But no, Ross definitely had a winning car. Blake did too, and obviously so did Patrick. But that was a phenomenal race.
Yeah, no, it really was a phenomenal race, and Connor and I were glad we could be a part of it here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. We want to give a big shout out to Oshweekend Speedway for sponsoring Monday Night Madness. All the admins, all the officials that do the replay reviews. Couldn't do this without you. And Coast to Coast is a great league because of every one of you. So for final goodbyes, this is Zach Chapman saying goodbye here for the Slide Job Racing Network and Shaggy TV. Connor and I were happy to be a part of it tonight, and we'll be back next Monday with you. So make sure you don't go anywhere, and make sure you're here Wednesday night here for Hometown Heroes. Got a good night of dirt racing, and then we got some trucks going on after that. So make sure you come back here with us Wednesday night, and we'll see you around here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network.